of the time. Okay. Looks like everything is going well. We're going to bring y'all in here. As soon as the video actually starts, we'll be able to go ahead and hit that full screen. So, yeah. Very, very excited for some RuneScape Ahead action. It is time to see what's up. There's been quite a bit of speculation and stuff going on in the chat, and obviously a fair amount. A fair amount of people being ridiculous too. We're gonna full screen this. And wow, I didn't realize I could full screen it and keep the chat. That's cool. I'll probably actually go ahead and drop the chat though. So those of you who are keeping the YouTube chat up for the stream can do that. We'll also take a look here at the audio. So this is a little different than the way we normally do things because we actually want to be able to hear the video. So y'all let me know how the audio is tracking. I can make some changes and stuff to it if we need to. They are laying on the stuff thick though. Like with this title, A New Era officially begins. That using such charged language, right? The word era is much bigger than, a new season, a new year, a new, this speaks to something much larger than just, hey, we're making a little bit of a change. Which is good. It implies some pretty massive stuff coming up. We'll go ahead and turn that up to about there. And then we'll control the volume here. Like right now, this fucking music is too much. Much too much. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, the word era has a pretty significant okay, yeah, there we go. Has a pretty significant meaning, right? You don't use the word era for no reason, right? You use season, you use year, you use I don't know, something that has a little less grandiosity, unless you're really trying to put across like, hey, this is going to be a big change and it's going to be a really long lasting change. Gives the implication of, we're looking to have the game still going on and still improving over the course of a really long time. And we intend for the changes to be so drastic that we are looking at sort of a different, like layers of rock in a mountain, right? You can tell where the epochs are marked based on the type of rock. But we'll see. Maybe they're just using language like that for clickbait. Who knows? Maybe. I don't believe this is a live. I believe this is a pre-recorded video that is being released as a premiere. So, you know, there's like a live premiere chat or whatever with it, which is cool. I like the entire idea of the premiere videos. Oh, it is supposed to be live, Chris? Okay. Could have sworn I saw something say that it was going to be a premiere. I mean, I'm cool either way.
Listen closely, for it is time for me to tell you a story. This new age has been one of strife. The loss of balance initially tipped the scales towards chaos. And although order re-established itself for a short reprieve, it was not before the land had been marred from the conflict.
Can you hear fine?
While some events had been long awaited and delivered on an ages-old promise, others were unexpected, perhaps even mocking, and far more divisive. However, no matter which god one followed, to survive in this new age required one to fight to evolve. Many that refused to chose to depart, taking solace in the ways of old. In order to weather this storm, many who remained felt no choice but to place their own survival paramount. While some others simply continued their daily toil, and a grim few stood firm against the gale, teeth bared in an iron grimace of resistance. Though set apart, we all found ways to survive and fight back. And through each and every one of us, victory has now been achieved. Now, the gods have been banished once again. The destruction they wrought is slowly being repaired. The wounds they left behind are beginning to heal. The people are returning to their everyday lives, and the allure of treasure has lost its luster. While progress has been made, much work remains to be done. The people must try once again to find the best version of themselves, to remove the clutter and mess still left over from the strife, and to work on new ways of fighting back against the ills that linger on.
The UI, that was hilarious.
Only through this can the balance be fully restored, and hope along with it for the old ways and the new to rejoin their hands in harmony. What was lost can never be returned, only mourned. But we can strive towards building something greater, and together step forwards into a new era.
So are we going into the 7th age? I think we might be going into the 7th age.
Welcome to our biggest Runescape Ahead ever, and the start of a bold new era for RuneScape. As we celebrate RuneScape's 25th anniversary, this moment is about looking back, recognizing the highs and the lows over the last 25 years, and taking a defining step in orienting RuneScape towards a bright future. We're unveiling our roadmap plans for the entirety of 2026 and introducing a brand new identity for RuneScape, one that reflects both our heritage, but also our ambition for the years ahead. For me, it's a symbol of renewal, of growth, and of tapping back into the essence of RuneScape at its best. This year is about setting RuneScape back on course to deliver meaningful experiences and lasting value to players. This anniversary year represents more than simply a milestone. For all of us here, we want it to be a turning point, setting RuneScape firmly on course for the future it deserves. And as we continue to evolve across the studio and our games, we're doing so with a clear purpose: to deliver brilliant content that is authentically RuneScape. Experiences that are worth your time and your trust. Now, we've got a fantastic show ahead, taking a deeper look at all of the incredible content planned for 2026 and our new dedicated integrity roadmap. So, without further ado, I'll hand over to the RuneScape team to talk all about the amazing things headed our way this year.
We've got an incredible year ahead, and we cannot wait to finally share what's coming throughout 2026. But before we get into it, let's not forget that extra tiny thing that's happening today. By the time this show ends and we come back online, Treasure Hunter will be gone from RuneScape, and hundreds of gameplay impacting MTX items will no longer be on sale. With that said, let's dive in with our new integrity roadmap, now aptly named the Road to Restoration. The Road to Restoration is an entirely separate set of integrity releases that sits alongside our main content roadmap for 2026. Throughout the year, we'll be giving the core RuneScape experience a ton of TLC to restore a stronger, foundational experience for every player for years and years to come. With these releases, we'll hit issues like daily skate pressure, early and mid-game skilling balance, visual identity, and a whole load more. And we're excited to kick off this Road to Restoration through 3 brand new releases going live today, right after the show.
Starting with the UI, we unveil a fresh new look. It's a familiar update to the UI that keeps all the functionality you need, with a cleaner, more classic and fresher look throughout.
We've also improved the default layout to make it a stronger, more versatile alternative and something that works no matter where you are in your journey. As part of this, we're reintroducing the classic circular minimap and chat box, a small but welcome nod to the RuneScape many of us grew up with. This is just the first update in a series of iterative improvements we want to make to the UI, with many more improvements to come, working closely with all of you to take this even further.
Speaking of visuals, our second release today will also introduce cosmetic toggle options. This will let you selectively hide other players' worn customizations and their animation customizations at your discretion. Not a fan of wings? Hide them. If you want to authentically see what other people are wearing, no problem. That includes you, Timmy, with your half dragon, half adamant combo. We're not here to judge. All these cosmetic toggles will release in today's update, and later this year, we'll give you even more toggle options to hide other players summoning familiar customizations too.
Last but not least, our third release is a world update for Gielinor, focused on iconic free-to-play areas like Lumbridge, Draenor, and Varrock. These areas now match the visual standard we're establishing across the game, with more to come later this year. And in what might be one of the weirdest patch notes we've ever written, we've also updated all normal oak and willow trees across the entire game to a stronger visual standard, making it more consistent and cohesive with the game world.
And on top of all of that, the in-game rune metrics functionality will be completely free for everyone this spring. This is part of a wider effort to make tooling more accessible and genuinely useful for all players. These updates mark the start of the road to restoration and set the stage for a year of rebuilding, strengthening RuneScape's core experience. In February, we'll launch our Combat Modernization update. This will bring the 3 original combat styles into the modern age, building on the things that worked in our approach for necromancy and avoiding the bits that didn't. This update will make the styles more intuitive and easy to learn through experiential gameplay, with refined ability lists slowly introduced as you climb through the levels, and a simpler but deeper synergy between abilities. Throughout the year, we'll continue to make further improvements to combat as a whole. We'll have a full list of proposed changes in our supporting RuneScape Ahead blog, so be sure to take a look at the specifics after the show.
Later on in February, our focus will shift to the early game experience with our first of many updates to rebalance the game. We'll be looking to tackle unneeded friction in those early levels by solving their root issues. Think catch rates on shrimps, pickpocketing stun chance, drop tables, and much more. We want skilling to feel simple, rewarding, and engaging, encouraging players to progress into the depths these skills have to offer as they get invested. We'll follow that with a similar update for the mid-game in summer and a late-game update in autumn.
RuneScape is at its best when you are logging in because you want to play, as you forge your own path to achieve your goals. Dailyscape is completely counter to what makes RuneScape RuneScape. In this update, we'll be taking a holistic look at all Dailyscape systems, from shop stocks to Weeswax, to D&Ds, and even, yes, those hourly wildy events. We want RuneScape to be a game you enjoy playing for what it is, when you feel like it, and without a checklist of chores to complete.
Auras create a time pressure and a feeling of complexity with extra things you feel like you should consider in your setup before you start the task at hand. That's why this spring we intend to fully remove all auras while redistributing some of those benefits to the core game experience. No more aura refreshes, no more limited peak efficiency, just a more enjoyable gameplay loop.
The Grand Exchange will also get some love as we set out to address your most desired features and improvements. So we're going to get in there to improve things like how items update their price, buy limits, and more. And as we start development, we want to hear from you with what changes and improvements you'd like to see at the GE.
Finally, later this year, among many other Road to Restoration updates, we'll also improve our social systems through a dedicated update. While we're still working on our full design for this update, we want to improve the overall social experience by improving things like chat range, improvements to broadcasts for things like your collection log drops, and some clan-centric features that make socializing in RuneScape much stronger.
Okay, maybe we have one more thing. For many years, all of you have called for plugins, just like in old school RuneScape. Plugins empower the community to build tools, features, and functionality to enable unique experiences and take real control over how you interact with the game. Something you've told us could help RuneScape thrive. And as a result, we're investing in a new dedicated team of developers with one mission: to bring plugins to the RuneScape client before the end of 2026. To get this right, we need the very core of our design to enable talented developers within the community to do their best work. If you are one of those developers, we invite you to join the early stages of our plugin developer program today. Head to the Discord link below to apply for the program and help shape our systems to bring your ideas to life. Now, while we've removed many MTX items from sale in today's update, our ultimate ambition is to remove their presence in the game for good. At the end of the year, before we essentially make them obsolete, we'll give you the opportunity to get rid of any of them you haven't used. Here, we'll release other updates that replace the positive experiences these items could offer directly within the game. For example, what if, instead of having Slayer VIP coupons, you could just pick from 2 Slayer tasks?
As we move through the year, there will be continued improvements to unifying the visual identity of Gielinor. We'll declutter content from the world that doesn't stand up 25 years into this journey, while continuing our work to bring all of Gielinor up to the cohesive modern standard we've been establishing since 2020. That includes the player avatar refresh, which we'll touch on later in the show.
The Road to Restoration is just the first look at the core initiatives to help give RuneScape the care and attention it deserves over this year. We want this roadmap to evolve with your feedback as we move throughout the year and be shaped by all of your voices, your ideas, and what you think should be tackled next.
All of this and more is coming this year. And the best bit of all, we haven't even gotten to the new stuff. So let's start with Havenhive.
So, what is Havenhive?
Havenhive is RuneScape's biggest area expansion yet. It's a massive stretch of land to the east of Mauritania, filled with new villages, stories, people, adventures, encounters.
And a massive, bloodthirsty hedgehog. Can we talk about the Dreadhog yet?
No.
Okay, moving on.
Havenhive was once home to a First Age civilization, and it's a landmass packed with lots of rich, layered history.
Back in the First Age, Havenhive was home to a magical nexus, the birthplace of the Colossi, and a long dormant gateway to Vampirium itself.
But it's totally safe, and nothing will go wrong there. Don't worry about it.
So what's Havenhive's vibe?
Havenhive has a really distinct feel to it. It's a land with a lot of life and people, a grounded and organic region filled with stories, oddities, and those smaller, familiar RuneScape moments.
But as you venture further beyond the village of Wendelwick, things start to change.
The forests thin, the air will grow colder, and as we expand Havenhive throughout the year, you'll begin to feel that pull towards the east, where the region becomes more treacherous and vampiric. For now though, in part 1, it will be a living, breathing region that welcomes you in, while showing you some subtle hints of its darker side.
How do you get to Havenhive?
So, it basically starts off like any great story. A stranger offers you a free, experimental drink at a dodgy tavern.
And in your infinite wisdom, you take it, no questions asked. And let's just say things get a little trippy.
You'll start seeing things you probably shouldn't. And before long, you're on a boat, sailing towards a land that doesn't want to stay hidden anymore.
In part 1 of Havenhive, there will be a series of new quests for you to dive into.
2 of which kick off Havenhive's main storyline, where you hear of some strange rumours spreading through Wendelwick.
Rumours of a pale-skinned woman, long pointy ears, silver hair, sharp canines, red, hungry eyes.
She's a vampire, isn't she?
No comment.
The others are standalone quests that are full of fun little local stories that go beyond the core storyline to help familiarise yourselves with locals and their customs.
You know, the usual small town stuff. Neighbours, chores, and the odd crab problem.
What's the strangest thing in Havenhive?
The Dreadhog.
The Dreadhog!
The Dreadhog.
This bloody hedgehog will be one of the 2 bosses available on launch of Havenhive Part 1.
Silverquill the Dreadhog is one of our brand new early game combat bosses.
She'll teach you a little more about telegraphed attacks and reading your opponent,
And if you can best the hog, you could just walk away with some of those silver spikes she's carrying.
which might just come in handy later on in your Havenhive journey, given the vampires and all.
If you make it through that, you'll likely meet Ivar, the King of Bones, a massive hill giant with room temperature IQ.
He's another early game boss that will help you learn a little more about prayer flicking, and he may drop something a little more club-shaped too.
With these 2 early game bosses, we want to help bring bossing back to its roots, while easing any new and returning players into combat, preparing for what's to come, and closing that gap between early and end game bossing.
And for the completionists among you, there will still be drops, pets, and titles for you to unlock. Alongside these new combat bosses, we'll also be introducing a new early game Slayer creature called the Sanguine Crawlers.
Outside of combat, Havenhive Part 1 will also have an extension to the Hunter skill, taking it to 110 with an expansion to the Big Game Hunter system. This time though, it's not all about tracking, it'll be about surviving. Giant creatures will be sniffing you out, and you'll need to find a way to gain the upper hand and take down the creatures.
By doing so, you'll get your hands on some loot, the best Hunter XP in the game, and those all-important materials needed to craft the new level 85 to 90 ranged armor.
Or the brand new Masterwork ranged armor. More on that as we get closer to release.
Beyond the hunt itself, there will be a load of other ways for you to train Hunter in Havenhive, such as clockwork trapping.
You'll craft a bunch of mechanical birdhouses, place them across Havenhive with bait, then return later to collect your catch.
Crafting these birdhouses uses logs from the latest 110 woodcutting update, from the most basic all the way through to eternal magic logs.
Each tier forming the base of a stronger trap.
And for those of you who prefer a more laid-back approach, clockwork box traps are also making their debut.
Last year, we talked about bringing in new integrity-focused ways to train. that feel rewarding and grounded without relying on any MTX items. Clockwork box traps lean into that idea and are a new, efficient, fully craftable method available early enough to stay useful as you level.
They're designed to be a more relaxed training method, and one that fits neatly between each of your hunts.
Other things in the hunter skilling update? Blackchin chompers.
Anything else you want to say about Blackchin chompers?
Blackchin chompers.
Okay.
You'll also start to notice some new jackalope faces hopping around in Part 1 of Havenhearth. They're a step up from rabbit snaring, making early game hunter much smoother and more enjoyable for players starting out. And while we're at it, there'll be a new soil sifting archaeology familiar too.
As you explore Havenhearth, you'll meet new faces, lend a hand where it's needed, and earn achievements tied to the people and places you discover along the way.
And as you travel beyond Wendelwick, you'll start to uncover new resources never before seen in Gielinor, like red ivy, a slower depleting tree for relaxed woodcutting, and giant crayfish at level 82 fishing.
Over the next year, Havenhearth will continue to expand as we add more content to it.
With a new story quest later in the spring,
A new First Age archaeology dig site in the summer,
and a conclusion to Havenhearth's story with Part 2, releasing towards the end of 2026, where you'll also meet the Grazi Blood Knights in a brand new solo and duo combat boss encounter.
We're super excited to bring Part 1 of Havenhearth to life on the 23rd of March.
This is a big moment for RuneScape, and we want to mark the next step in our new chapter. We can't wait to drink that dodgy experimental drink and set sail to Havenhearth, meet the people who live there, and make Havenhearth your new home.
Well, I guess we won't be needing this anymore. Yes, it's true! Player Avatar is coming this April.
For those of you who don't know, Player Avatar is a project we kicked off in 2021.
Through lots of community consultancy and live streams, we worked with you to develop a remastered visual look for your player avatar that feels true to your character as you know it today. After we discovered some technical limitations in 2022, we've been spending the last few years investing in technical upgrades that could help us make it possible.
Now, we're ready to get this modern, grounded avatar into your hands over the course of multiple updates.
Our first update, in April, will lay the foundation in a new base avatar, updated hairstyles and facial hair options, plus newly updated base clothes. These models have been further refined since you last saw them, with slimmer profiles that more closely align with today's player avatar.
We'll also be improving the quality of the chat heads, including chat head animations.
And we'll be looking for your feedback to help prioritize our future releases happening throughout the year. From which items or cosmetics we should update first, through to NPCs you'd like to see brought up to this standard. Look out for a survey this April to reshape the future of the player avatar refresh.
Finally, we know that some of our modern outfits have sometimes felt like they have an odd shine to them, or maybe look a little bit too flat or too smooth in certain environments, while compared to the older, grainier textures. As part of the road to restoration later this year, we'll be rolling out rendering updates to begin to address this. And as we move through 2026, we'll keep fine-tuning and improving the look and feel of your character until we get it just right.
Look out for the first stage of the player avatar refresh this April.
It's been a long time coming, but later this summer, we're bringing new life to the player-owned house. The player-owned house has been part of RuneScape since 2006, almost 20 years ago. And while the game has grown quite a lot since, the player-owned house has stayed largely the same. This year, we want to change that and give player-owned housing the attention it truly deserves.
With this update, our goal is to make housing feel more connected to Gielinor again and create a space that feels personal, welcoming and worth visiting, whether it's your house or a friend's. You'll be able to have a whole new level of control over your home, with more ways to personalise, design and shape your space exactly how you want it, down to the finer details.
And we'll be giving construction a skill increase to 122.
We're also introducing a new recipe system that allows you to unlock and build furniture inspired by your past, present, and future adventures.
Imagine taking down a boss and proudly displaying a trophy from that battle right in your own home, or even completing a quest and having a keepsake as a reminder of the adventure.
Through the new recipe system, our goal is simple: to make your home a living reflection of the path you've taken, the memories you've made, and the victories you've earned.
Part of this update is also about bringing back that social spark and the joy of showing off your home, inviting friends over, and maybe even hosting the occasional house party.
And don't worry, we've learned a thing or two since that other big house party. This update is about giving the player-owned house a much stronger purpose again, and a place for creativity, pride, and connection, making it feel like a true part of your RuneScape journey. We're still in early design at the moment, so we would love to hear what you would like to see from player-owned housing. We can't wait to share more as we get closer to launch, and to take that journey together with you.
After everything we've talked about today, there's still plenty more to come this year.
In the spring, you'll be able to jump into a brand new standalone quest. It's a fluffy adventure and a spiritual successor to Gertrude's Cat. Think Lady and the Tramp meets Fort Forintry, just more fur. In autumn, we'll release another standalone quest. It's something a little different, but still true to our roots.
We're also bringing in remastered content updates at the end of spring, and again in autumn, as we revisit some classic pieces of content. More on exactly what this involves and what content we'll remaster later this year.
And of course, we'll have seasonal events throughout the year with a focus on stronger game integrity and quick ways to drop in, take part, and leave with a fancy reward.
And finally, in October, RuneFest is back. We can't wait to see all of you in person and share more content reveals for 2027. Now, you're probably thinking, when are they going to drop their typical, but wait, there's one more thing moment? So, without further ado, let's end the show on one final thing. That's right, Leagues is coming back to RuneScape this autumn.
After the incredible response from all of you in our first ever league, we're taking everything we've learned and we're pushing this one step further with Leagues 2.
This time, it'll be bigger, faster, and basically even more busted.
There's going to be new, overpowered relics, new tasks and challenges, new rewards, all with a brand new Leagues twist that will completely flip RuneScape on its head.
We also heard your feedback from the Catalyst League, and with Leagues 2, progression will be even faster, as we want you jumping into the madness right away.
We're talking more auto-completed quests, earlier combat relics, a much smoother climb through the tiers, and relics will be way more overpowered than before.
How would you describe Leagues 2 in one word?
Epic.
Juiced.
Ridiculous. Sounds like I'm casting a spell. We'll have much more to unveil this autumn, so stay tuned.
But for now, just know, Leagues is back, and once again, you'll be rewriting the rules and bending RuneScape to your will.
We hope you've enjoyed everything we've shown today. Every single JMod has come together to help shape this vision for the future of RuneScape. We want this moment to be more than just a roadmap. It's a promise to build a world worth returning to time and time again for decades to come, together alongside all of you. So as RuneScape comes back online in a few short moments, we hope you feel it too, that sense of a new beginning. Because this isn't just the next year of RuneScape, it's the start of a new era. If you'd like to hear more about the content roadmap or the road to restoration, you can check out our official RuneScape Ahead blog, or join us live on Twitch for RuneScape Ahead Expanded, where we'll talk in more detail about everything shared in today's show. Thank you for being a part of this journey, and we'll see you in Gielinor.
All right. So they said they were maybe having like some Twitch thing going on. So let's see if I can find that. If I can't, then we'll go ahead and go look for that written the blog, and we'll go through that because they said there would be some more information in there. But if they are having a stream, then I want to see that. Yeah, it looks like they are. So let's open that up. And let's get rid of that. Yep. And then let's unfuck that.
Try new lemon pepper or go wild with all flavors combined for one unforgettable experience.
You keep commenting and we'll keep cracking. Real change, real happiness. Red Lobster.
Okay. Stream starting soon. Cool. Okay, so there was like a stupid amount of information in that video. And there are a couple of things that I'm super excited about, particularly Havenheith was looking real schmexy. They didn't mention anything about the new skill, which kind of took me by surprise, but it looks like we're going to be getting some advancements to a couple of skills, to 110 and 120. It looks like we're going to be getting some cool new quests. It looks like we're getting some cool new early game bosses, which I think is super important. I'm really glad to see. They seem to be trying to push to bring in new players and make the new player experience better. And I think that's really good. I know obviously there are lots of veteran players who are needing new content to do. They're needing some more stuff to keep them playing, but you can't grow the size of the player base if new players have no path to get into the game. So I think it's really smart, Grizz, absolutely, to be trying to pull in some of those new players. And I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to be really good, especially because I'm a new player, and that means that is all brand new content for me. It's going to be about the right level. I'll probably be a little bit past the level by the time that stuff comes out, but I will probably go ahead and nerf myself a little bit, and I'll probably go ahead and try to fight those bosses at the tier that you're supposed to fight them at. I don't know, I kind of want to race to get like the world first Dreadhog pet, because that dude's adorable, right? A little baby of that thing would just be super dope. Oh, did you just log in and it looks all different? Oh, I should probably do that. I didn't even think about that. I'll do it later at the regular time, because I'd rather watch this extended informational thing. I feel like that's kind of more important right now. Oh, here we go.
Hello, and welcome everyone to a very special RS25 RuneScape Ahead Expanded. If you have just finished watching the premiere, do not go anywhere. You are in the right place. This is the place where we are going to answer all your questions with all of our lovely J-mods who will be joining us. I hope you enjoyed the premiere. It was absolutely phenomenal. We are all here in the office today watching in an auditorium. Everyone was cheering. Everyone's having an amazing time. And I hope you guys at home watching had the same time as well. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Right now, you are in the after show, so we are also in Gielinor. So come and join us in World 11. We've got Mod Socks, who is live right now. Come and find him in World 11 in Lumbridge by the Lodestone himself. So come and join him. We are going to be having a nice little walk through Gielinor itself, having a look through all the changes, all the graphical reworks that are happening in the free-to-play world. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't express to you all how amazing it's been to see everyone's reactions and all the comments. So many wins in the chat. It's been so lovely. Let's swing the camera around if we can. Mod Socks, you've got some of our lovely trees which are blocking your way. But yes, come and join us. Come and join us. Today we've got so many things coming up for you today. Also, if you head across to our RuneScape Discord at the moment, we have our Discord. We've got some giveaways happening at the moment. You can be in luck to win one of our iconic RS25 5-disc vinyl box sets. These are absolutely beautiful. It's 25 years of RuneScape music from both RuneScape and old school RuneScape. Go over to RuneScape Discord, find the channel and enter. We'll be having 3 giveaways through this live stream. This is the first one at the moment. So before we get in, I want to ask the chat in your one words, describe for us what your reactions were to the premiere. What did you guys think? Give me your one word reactions. We'll read some out. Peak, epic, yes. Hope is lovely, yes. Hope is a big one. Absolute win. Pog, yes, amazing. That's what we want to see. This is the energy we want to see, people. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So as we go in through the live stream, I want to introduce our first guests onto stage. We have the incredible, the amazing Mod Ryan, and we have Mod Ramen to the set. Welcome, guys. What did you guys think? Was it everything you hoped for this reaction?
It was ridiculous. No, I'm just repeating myself. I think it was amazing. It's awesome to see the reaction as well. It's a long time coming for myself and for Mod Ramen and for everyone here at Jagex. You know, a lot of us have worked in this game for a long time, and being able to, you know, go out there and say we're gonna work on the road to restoration. We're gonna fix all these problems. I think it's awesome. And equally, of course, that's on top of the roadmap, the content roadmap itself. So it's amazing.
No, as you mentioned, we were in our atrium, all watching the premiere live. The chat was going absolutely crazy. A lot of W's, a lot of W's.
So many W's. It's phenomenal. We love you too. We love you too. But yes, we are going to be... So to set expectations of obviously what's happening through the rest of the stream itself, we are going to talk about RS25. We're going to talk about what the new era actually means. Actually, speaking of the new era, Mod Ryan, what does the new era, what should players expect from the new era of RuneScape?
Yeah, so... I mean, as you saw from the video, we got new branding. Going back to our roots, yes, on the screens behind us. My head's in the way, but going back to our roots. You know, we know what RuneScape is. We know what RuneScape always was, and you know, speaking for myself, I played this game for 24 years, 23 years. I can't even remember now.
It's been over half your life.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked at Jagex over half my life at this stage, so.
You are RuneScape.
I am RuneScape. Livy, don't eat it, but anyway. So yeah, it's one of those things where. The new era is really about, it's like the beginning of the future. You know, we all want to see RuneScape, you know, by the end of this year, we're all talking about all the great things it does. And we're not talking about those little things that are causing problems for the game, which is exactly what the road to restoration is about. It's about owning who we are, you know, and making this game great for years to come. You know, we're 25-year-old as a franchise, and we can only look forward to the next 25 years. And, you know, so this is the start of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for Mod Ramen, firstly, again, big congrats to you as our new principal game designer for RuneScape.
Thank you.
Where do you envision seeing RuneScape? What are your plans for building this RuneScape into the new era as well?
Back in the hands of the players. That's really the driving force behind all this. Like, we all use the term RuneScapiness. What does it mean to be RuneScape? And there isn't really an answer to it. But when you really drill down into it, it's the community, it's the players, it's us making it for them, for you. So listening, look, we've heard your pleas for things like 120 construction, player and house rework, avatar rework, but also not just the content you want to see, but the improvements to the game you want to see, the pain points you have, really drilling deep into those and giving this game another 25 plus years.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I mean, that's the pivotal moment, I suppose, right this time. As you've all seen, if you've all just been watching the RS25, the premiere, you know that Treasure Hunter today is finally gone. We don't have that anymore, which has been finally fantastic for everyone. Yes, big cheers, yes. So in terms of, you know, this being in RuneScape history, where else do you see the vision for for RuneScape. First, we've got rid of Treasure Hunter. Where else do you envision RuneScape going?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a personal hope as well. Like, I grew up playing the game, and it was the game we all spoke about. And I'd love to see, RuneScape as a franchise, or equally RuneScape our game, just that game that everyone's talking about, going against the grain a little, like doing, putting, like as Ram said, putting the game back in the players' hands. It's really about like making this great game for all of us as players, and really just focusing on making a great game.
Yeah.
And I think when you talk about the future, we have, in regards to like Road to Restoration, it's about fixing the problems we have. I like to talk about RuneScape as it's a bloody awesome game, and there's a bunch of weeds that we just want to get rid of. And I think that's what the Road to Restoration is about. It's about setting ourselves up for the future, because I truly believe this game is the best is yet to come. Absolutely.
Definitely. I mean, to touch on your point there, some of the weeds and stuff that I've been going through. I just saw some of the clips from in-game at the moment. We've got a bit of a crowd, a bit of a parade going, which is nice. I hope you're all enjoying the reworks happening at the moment. I mean, you guys looking at this at the moment, Mod Ryan, what are your thoughts being able to see? Can we go back to the in-game? Thank you so much. Seeing this from the first day you guys saw, and you, Mod Ryan, I suppose, looking at the game that you once knew to now, to see so many people sort of just logging in, obviously spreading the love and stuff. What are your thoughts? What are your initial reactions to this?
Looking at this here, I think something we kind of lost our way a little over the years when it comes to changing of the art style and stuff. And this is a good representation of owning who we are, remastering. We call it Faithful Remaster. Like, you can look at this and it's Lumbridge, but it's more a modernized version of Lumbridge. It's not a completely recreation of Lumbridge. And I think that's like one of our true sort of mantras, is like faithful remasters, not changing it, but updating it to be within a modern standard. And I think just looking at the screen here, we've gone back to it was mentioned in the RuneScape Ahead, but things like ensuring that we have like texture detail on things, giving that like gritty graininess back, that medieval feel, moving away from the sort of shininess, the sort of flat / I know players say Play-Doh. This is just a great representation of it. Like, it's awesome to see. Like, I remember the days dying to these wizards passing over, but long gone are those days for me.
Definitely. So, we want to do a quick chat, a quick clarification as well with what players are to expect throughout the year. So, does that mean all Treasure Hunter? Well, actually, let's start with quick, clean answers. We don't need long ones, quick ones. Does that mean all Treasure Hunter is gone today?
All of Treasure Hunter, yes. Treasure Hunter is gone.
All gone. Does this mean we'll never do seasonal events again?
No, so we're still doing seasonal events. The real focus on them is getting back to making it fun to play, fun to engage in, not making endless grinds. So, you can come in, you can play, you can get your reward for the event this year, and then leave. It's really about integrity-focused events going forward.
Back to what they used to be.
Back to what they used
a charming little quest, a cute little outfit, and back on your way.
So and I think FOMO, not waiting.
No, I mean, I can drop a few things here because that roadmap is very high level. There's still more behind the person, let's say. And I mean, looking at things like the seasonal rewards that have been available for previous years from the grindy events, we're talking like Aurora Die, Soul Die, the Santa hats and stuff. We're going to make more integrity-focused ways of bringing those into the game.
Yep, absolutely. And then, does restoration mean no new content?
Absolutely not. Quite the opposite. I think it's really about, as you saw with the roadmap infographic, it's not only are we focused on integrity, we're also focusing on killer content.
Definitely. The content roadmap looks absolutely stellar. But yes, beautiful. Again, the exact energy we need from two of our incredible JWODs who are working on this. We absolutely love everything, the direction that we're going in. You've got two incredible devs who have been here since the beginning, who know exactly what everyone wants in this. So big claps, big cheers in chat for these two wonderful JWODs. But yes, thank you, Mod Rahman. Thank you, Mod Ryan, for joining me. We'll go to chat and to gameplay. Let's look at, let's look at the gameplay itself. At the moment, we are in Varrock now. Yes, we're in Varrock. We're going around, which has been, again, ModSox is doing a fantastic job in getting everyone together at the moment. Please don't join. We are in World 11. They are currently in Varrock at the moment. And now let's go over to our Road to Restoration. Let's have a look at what we have at the moment. Again, you can see here, it's a road. It is a road to restoration, which is absolutely jam-packed. It's absolutely phenomenal. We have so much that's coming up at the moment. And It's beautiful. So now I want to welcome back to the set. Well, I say back to the set. Welcome to the set, shall I say? Some incredible people who are going to be going over the road to restoration. We are welcoming Mod Alex, Mod Black Witch, and Mod Breezy. Hello, guys. How are you all? Welcome. First thoughts. What are your thoughts? I assume you're all watching the premiere in the auditorium. That must have been absolutely exhilarating seeing all the W's in the chat.
It was very fun seeing all the
It was so
reactions.
good. It was so good. We were watching it in the studio as well. We were just like absolutely dying. We were trying to catch up with all the comments. It was brilliant. So yes, the road to restoration, obviously not just a buzzword. It's, you know, this is a dedicated roadmap to everything that we're trying to do for RuneScape this year. Like and alongside that, the content roadmap. Like these are 2 roadmaps, people. 2. So you know we're trying the best we can to get RuneScape to the best it can be for 2026. So in the simplest version, what is restoration and what are we promising to people? I want to ask our lovely J-Mods who are sitting here. Let's start with you, Breezy.
Ooh, what is it? Okay, so this big answer. We're trying to look at like every aspect of the game. Look at, you know, where we once were, what we really loved about RuneScape, what RuneScape's identity is, what people think of when they think of RuneScape through all the ages, and get us back to that in the many ways, whether that's graphics, gameplay, mechanics, skills, whatever it may be.
And there's a lot happening. There's a lot changing.
Yeah.
We will get into that in a second. But yes, how about you guys in terms of like a visual restoration? How about what you guys have worked on, Mod Black Witch?
Yeah, I guess it's actually taking the game and bringing it up to the standard that we would want it to be all along, taking time to actually update it and bring it in line with the rest, like one step at a time.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. It's consistency is the kind of the buzzword that we've been running with this whole time. It's taking all of the disparate looking stuff throughout the game and trying to bring it all into a coherent look that both reflects like a faithful look at old RuneScape, but also modern and shiny.
Yeah, and like, you know, keeping our identity, right?
Yeah.
Like we are RuneScape. It's all about keeping that integrity and, you know, what we've been working on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let's start with, I suppose, with this update itself, the UI interface. You know, if you're a new player, you will be seeing a new interface. So let's talk through the new interface and what players can expect when they first jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the first thing that you'll probably notice is a brand new look of paint. We're getting back to that classic brown. I know there's a couple of J-Mods who spent quite a long time getting that right shade of brown.
There's a picture
in the
there,
game. Yeah, indeed. And yeah, so you see a before and after of all the changes. Again, we're looking for familiarity, getting back to the things that we remember RuneScape for, even like within the buttons and the icons and things like that. And we also have a classic mode. So this is a classic mode. It's got the...
So not Legacy.
It's not Legacy.
Not Legacy anymore.
Legacy's had a bit of a rebrand and a bit of a rework to it. Again, the classic browns, the classic chat box with the buttons down the bottom, the ribbon down on the bottom right, with the sort of oldish looking icons. You also see that there's 2 panels for both the inventory and the other extra panels. So the inventory one will always stay on screen, but the other one will change depending on what you press in your ribbon. And of course there's a circular mini-map as well up on the top right. Again, another classic piece.
Exactly. Is that round mini-map is like suddenly it's back to that nostalgia. We are all 12 years old again, remembering the first time we logged into RuneScape, which is so nice. But tell me, like, what are the thought processes behind why we went for this? Like, for example, I've seen some of the comments about the brown. They're loving the brown, which is fantastic. But this isn't just, you know, we didn't just wake up and say, we want brown today. We're going to change it from dark blue. Like, what were the thought processes behind why we changed it to how it is? Even like the stone, you know, the stone icons itself as well.
Yeah, I mean, when we first sat down and spoke about it, we said, you know, like, what is it that people think when they think of RuneScape? What is it people remember? We looked at the complexities that currently plagued our, well, I can't say current interface. I guess, is it current interface anymore? We looked at the complexity, the sort of UX issues, again, familiarity and simplicity as well. People might be returning to the game after many years of not playing. What is it that they see first when they start the game? And similarly as well for new players, can we present something really simple and familiar for them to play, because at the moment, or in the past, when you started the game, we basically asked you to go and edit your entire interface from the jump, which isn't a great thing to put new players into. So there's a bunch of iterative updates over the year to the UI that we want to do, and we want to, in the end, have something that is intuitive, familiar, simple to use, and whether you're watching the game or playing the game, you understand what's going on your screen, essentially.
Absolutely. So another thing that's obviously coming in as well is another thing everyone's looking forward to. I saw big wins for this one is the cosmetic toggle. So this is obviously something that's been obviously very sought out for quite some time during our experiments at the moment. So again, what can players expect with the toggle today? What's been the process of getting this done?
Yeah, if you remember the cosmetic toggle experiment we did, I think it was, if I remember correctly now, it was 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, where, experiment.
You could log into a cosmetic-free world. That's now in as a toggleable option, and when you use it, when you turn it on, you will no longer see players' cosmetics in their various forms, whether that's cosmetic overrides they've got for wings or outfits and whatnot.
Yeah, quick one in chat. Give us a live choice. Quick vote. Type A if your toggle wings off immediately. B if you're leaving everyone as is. Or C if you want everything hidden. Let's go. A, B, A. Okay, a lot of A's. Not so many C's. A lot of B's. Lots of A's and B's. Nice. Wow. Okay. We have a lot of people. Okay. Dominating. This is dominating. There is no D. There's no choice D. But amazing. This is... We hear you. Now, obviously, we go to everything else that's been obviously reshaping Gillinor itself. Obviously, some of the iconic free-to-play world stuff that's, as you can see from ModSox and In the World, if you are in the world, moving on to Mod Black Witch and to Mod Alex. Why start, when people start, what should players look for when they first log in? What's been the most pivotal moments, the iconic moments of Gillinor that you guys have updated, and why start at this point?
Ooh, okay. There's a lot of questions in there. I guess why start in Lumbridge? It's a seminal point for the game. It's where so many people started their RuneScape journey, and it made sense to start there. We want to show the love to that core memory that players have, and make everything, like I said a minute ago, better reflect the way we want the game to look, and while being faithful to what players remember.
Absolutely, yeah.
We had done refreshes in the past, in the last few years, quick refreshes to free-to-play area and a few other areas already, but we've never managed to update it to the standard that we wanted to. So this was always something we wanted to come back to and do those big updates to the buildings and the trees and all of those things that people request a lot.
Yeah, for sure. So where else are you guys looking to next? I mean, we're looking at some of the pictures now from their befores and afters, and we have to admit they're absolutely stunning to what we've been able to transform them to. And this is obviously a great vision for you both, because you've both kept the integrity of RuneScape, the true, the passion of the RuneScape players without changing it so much, but changing it in such a way.
We had so many meetings with
design discussing all of this.
Yeah.
So many meetings.
This has been through so many rounds of feedback and so many different iterations to get it here.
Yeah, for sure. What took you guys the longest to back and forth? Was it shadows?
Do you think trees?
Was it trees?
Trees,
I think trees took us quite a while to get. Yeah,
unbelievably sun direction. There was a lot of discussions about that. But
we're getting asked to please remove the big tree next to Zamorak Mage, wherever that is.
I'll keep that one in mind for
keep that
back
in mind.
Upstairs. Yeah.
Keep that in mind. But yes, it's from everything that's been coming before as well. Where else do we plan on changing? Obviously, we've started on the free-to-play worlds. What else are we expanding to? Where else do you guys see to next?
I'm desperately trying not to say everywhere. Obviously, that's a big goal. But for now, ideally, the free area is kind of a work in progress at the moment. We've done some of the core areas and got them completely signed off. Some of the other areas still need a bit of work. So for me personally, I'd love to see the rest of the free area wrapped up.
I think after that, it's the areas immediately next to it, right? Spreading out. So, for example, we've had some discussions about Mauritania already as well.
Yep.
That's definitely one we want to look at.
Yeah, definitely. we really want to create that seamless experience, right, where you can start walking in one direction and not go through like a roller coaster of different art styles or generations of assets. We just want it smooth the whole time, so it makes sense to just spread out from where we've started.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, the one good thing at the moment is we currently have a behemoth of a blog currently on Reddit at the moment, and we are collecting any feedback we can on every segment and section we have based off the roadmap that you guys have all seen. So if there is anything that you want to be worked on first or anything like that, I'm sure that we can pass that feedback straight across to our wonderful team here, who will look into it. But before we move on, I want to say a big thank you to Mod Alex, Mod Black Witch, Mod Breezy. You are staying where you are. You are staying with me for the next section. But let's take a look at the roadmap again for what is coming up next. We are still going through the road to restoration at the moment. So we are going to be doing some big shifts. We are going to be going into our combat at the moment. So stay tuned for what's coming up next. But as you can see from the roadmap itself, do tell me in chat what's been most exciting to you. What's been the main thing for you to get that's got you hooked on this? Has it been the player avatar? Has it been the content roadmap? Or has it been the road to restoration? What is it that you're seeing? So I'm seeing quests, player and house, the API. Yes, API has been a big one. The plugins is a big thing for us. So that has been very exciting to see. Player avatar, definitely. We've got, what else do we have? The plugins, yes, definitely the plugins. The combat trio, yes, the overhaul, absolutely. The visual, everything. I mean, yeah, it's one of our biggest content pieces we have ever done. It's been absolutely phenomenal at the moment. It's super exciting to get all of this coming in at the moment. So, yeah, we're super excited. We are super excited at the moment. We are about to start on our next section. So while we quickly wait for our JMod to get sorted, I will make sure we are all set up. Amazing. So the road to restoration, again, as you can see, we are doing a big balance on our combat, and this is a big piece. So I want to welcome back to our set, our wonderful set, Mod Breezy. We have the wonderful Mod Sponge, and we are welcoming Mod Shrew on set with us. So welcome, guys. So tell me your reactions. What did you guys think? Not you, Breezy. You were on the Mod Sponge. You guys were Mod Shrew. You guys were in the auditorium. Incredible,
it's
right?
Just like everything I've wanted from RuneScape for so long. Like,
so good.
It's just so good, honestly.
Were you reading the chat? Were you guys going through the comments?
I would have been if my eyought was better. So it was just a blur going past. I could see like XDs and stuff. But
there were moments I had to stop and just like, no, stop. Just trying to take screenshots. I just couldn't do it. It's amazing. It's been amazing.
But no, it's kind of crazy. Again, it feels pretty emotional as well. Because, been here for nearly kind of 8 years now. And again, like everybody said, it's something we've all wanted for kind of a long time as well.
For sure.
So it definitely feels emotional and, exciting times ahead.
Yeah, it's cool. It's amazing stuff. So February, as you saw from the roadmap itself, our combat modernization. Obviously, huge statement that we're trying to roll out to all the players here. So in terms of being super clear on what that means. So Mod Sponge, Mod Breezy, I suppose you guys are on the combat panel for yourself, I believe. You're not on the... You are. The combat panel, yes, you are. So what does bringing the original styles into the modern age, actually mean in practice?
Well, it kind of means a lot, really. I'd say as a one-liner, it's just like making combat really good. That's that's the one-liner of it.
We fixed combat, guys. We're making it good.
And then we can go on to something else. But no, it's about making the visuals better, making the gameplay better, making the core experience better. Basically, if there's something that a player goes, oh, this is kind of naff, we want to improve it. That's what it means to bring it into the modern age.
Mm-hmm.
You want combat to feel like the rest of the game, just to feel like RuneScape, right?
Yeah. What will feel different to players?
So to players, the immediate thing is going to be the visuals are going to be better. Okay. The visual clarity is going to be better. Mm-hmm. You can look at the game right now and there's a lot of noise. You can't necessarily see what's going on great in combat. It's about improving that. It's about making the abilities that you use feel impactful. And there's a lot of learnings from necromancy there, which I'm sure we'll get into in a minute. But it's about avoiding the issues brought there. So making the styles feel unique, making them feel good to use, and just ultimately making it feel great, honestly.
So this is spanning across all combat styles.
Yep. So this will affect ranged, magic, melee. Beyond this update, there might be tweaks to necromancy as well. There's kind of a back and forth of, there's an improvement we've made to ranged or melee. Let's backport it back to necro. There's a lot of learning since necro. So it's about, making RuneScape combat as a whole feel great. It actually goes beyond just the styles as well. There's a lot of archaic systems in RuneScape for over the years, especially with EOC, where these systems haven't necessarily evolved with the game. So things like food and adrenaline feels terrible to use. Thresholds feel really weird. Just these little different bits of combat that can just be improved and brought to the modern age, essentially.
Nice. Beautifully put. Sorry, I was just like really transfixed. I was like, this is fantastic. This is brilliant. Absolutely love where the direction we're going in. It's I know that speaking to a lot of players, we did the beta, the range beta, not that long ago. And
Yep.
So much feedback from all of that.
Too much feedback, honestly. So we dropped that just before I went away for Christmas break, and I came back and it was just pages and pages and pages and pages. I think it took me about 3 days to get through it all in the end.
Well, there you go. You got a lot of passionate players.
Too many passionate players for my head to contain, honestly.
There's no such thing. No such thing. No such thing. But yes, in terms of next we go into rebalancing the game, and from the beginning, from mid to late. In terms of giving players concrete examples, what are the classic pain points we're actually fixing?
Where do I begin? There's a lot. There's a lot.
You have 5 minutes.
I mean, some of the things that we're looking at for that first update are definitely very much within those first few hours of starting your account, but even beyond that as well. So we're looking at things that have sort of fell by the wayside for many, many years now. Lots of sort of redundant content, maybe XP rates and things that have sort of felt outdated or have become outdated with other different methods that maybe trump everything else and don't really give you any variety or like we would call onboarding, but basically like your sort of introduction to the game and its skills and whatnot. And that's kind of all jank right now. So we're looking to do things such as don't know if this will sit well or not, but look at things like whirly gigs and how they fit into Hunter at the early game. Maybe some slight Hunter rebalances, looking at things even such as the monsters in Lumbridge Swamp and their combat stats, because right now if you would start the game, I think if anyone played leagues and tried to kill those monsters in the
How many of us died of rats? We went in and instantly died, all of rats. I wonder how many people actually died of rats right at the beginning.
I think that was my bad, honestly. Might have overstated those a little bit.
We have someone to blame. It's Mod Sponge. And it's him.
What else have we got? We've got some prayer training improvements. So I can't remember if the Nexus is gone right now, or if it's not gone, we have plans to remove it. But also then looking at what sort of replaces that for its method. So maybe, for example, letting you offer bones at any altar in the game for some XP bonuses there. We're also looking at things like some thieving improvements. So Mod Sponge and Mod Days, I believe it was, had some cool game jam ideas and work done for some, I think it was all the thieving. We're going to look at some stuff for the early game to start. So things like being stunned, the XP, things like that. Just overall looking at making that experience in the early game just much smoother. There's a lot of things, even like Thieves Guild doors, like that's just a terrible system, having to log out for that, and Hop Worlds and things like that. Yeah,
there has been a lot of learnings, and I think the balancing, especially what we've learned obviously from heists. Mod Sponge obviously being one of the people who got to do heists itself. Like we did a lot of learning from that.
Oh yeah, loads. There was loads of new content with that you can just kind of go, oh, actually these systems are slightly better. So we've got this whole range of gameplay already in RuneScape. Let's improve that. Let's modernize that as well.
They're just balancing it. Speaking of balancing, Dailyscape. So Dailyscape has been one of the topics a lot of you have been shouting on for years. We've been shouting about it internally for years. So it's it's one of those things that obviously during this year and this integrity that we're trying to go through this year, we're trying to change it up. So what's the intent behind it? What's the system and scope like when we say holistic?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the RS Head kind of really perfectly covered this, but we know Dailyscape is a big problem in RuneScape. It's something over the past God knows how many years we've built on it and on it and on it, and it's kind of gotten to the point now where, as a player, you almost feel forced to log in daily, and you feel like if you don't log in daily, you're behind as a result.
You missed out.
Exactly. When you're playing content, I'm off doing a quest. Oh, this thing's suddenly spawned. I need to run over here, stop what I'm doing, do something totally different. Exactly. And it's just created a bit of an experience where, you're not necessarily playing the game because you enjoy it, or playing aspects of the game because you enjoy it, because you're constantly away, kind of focused on various things which aren't actually what you want to do, but that's
not RuneScape, right?
Yeah, and it kind of just builds towards your general progression rather than what you want to play. So I mean, that's the problem. That's the intent with the work we're doing on Dailyscape. That's what we want to fix. Really, is you no longer have this need, this must to do specific things. You can really focus on what you actually enjoy about the game.
Definitely. So, obviously, just to set expectations for everyone, we haven't actually got a final answer just yet. But the direction is super clear on where we want to go for Dailyscapes. We've seen your feedback. We've seen everything that you guys have been saying at the moment. So, rapid fire. Oh,
sorry. It's just worth saying is, like, with it, you did mention it, to be fair, in the question is, we are really taking a proper, like, holistic approach to this project, and we're making sure that we're not just looking at all these small things in isolation. We're really trying to make sure that we understand the impact of the things that we're changing, the things that we're taking away. If we're considering removing a piece of content, we're understanding what the kind of knock-on impact of that is, and are there actually then problems elsewhere which this content's been fixing for however long. We need to be aware of that stuff. So even if with Dailyscape we can't fix those things, we're aware of them, so then we know exactly what we can be fixing down the line. So we are giving it the best overview we possibly can. And again, I encourage people as well to kind of communicate with us if there's stuff that's massively you find massively damaging or impactful and then kind of distracting. Please let us know. Like, now is the right time to do it.
Yeah. Reminder: we do have the mega thread up on Reddit at the moment, so go and check it out. Find the link for Dailyscapes and put in your feedback, put in your thoughts in there, and we will go through all of them. So rapid fire trio to close this section. For Grand Exchange, what's the kind of improvements players should expect, and how do we feed that into you?
I'll start, I guess.
Quick fire.
Price improvements. I think prices need to update much quicker. People need to know what the price of their items are at any point. I'll pass on. You go next. I can't think of anything right now.
For Gs, it's going to be stuff like potentially buy limit improvements. I think clarity of price is a big one. You don't want to go in, this thing's only going to be 10 mil, and then it's actually like a bill because the price is taking so long to update, right? I think the clarity of the G is the big thing to address for that.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's exactly the same thing. I want to be able to look at the G and actually understand where prices are, and not just throw something in and go, okay, well, is this going to sell for 10 mil? Is it going to sell for 10 bill? Just have no idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely the same.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, gents. Want to say a big thank you to Mod Breezy, Mod Sponge, and Mod Shrew for joining me. Thank you so much, gents.
Thank you.
Big applause. So, chat, one quick priority vote, if you will, before we move on. So, type the number you care most about. 1, Dailyscapes. 2, Grand Exchange improvements. 3, socials, clans, broadcasts. And 4, combat modernization. I know which one's probably going to dominate the most, but let's see in chat which one has been dominating. Oh, a lot of ones. Oh, okay. 4s, 1s, 3s. Okay, it's quite mixed. It is fairly mixed. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Okay, I said 1, but it's fine. 1, 2, yeah, 4. Amazing. Okay, I see you. We're going to save it. Right, perfect. Right, before we move on to our next section, we have our second giveaway coming up. So right now, if you head across to our Discord, our RS giveaway channel, you will be in a chance to win our commemorative 25 years of RuneScape pin badge
It's absolutely gorgeous. It's 25 years of RuneScape, made by the incredible Angelscape. Thank you so much. A big shout out to Angelscape for making these designs for us. It's been so phenomenal working with you all on this commemorative piece. So go ahead to the RS channel, RS giveaway channel, and enter. That's all you need to do. So let's move on to the next section. I'm super excited about this. We've done the foundations. Now let's get into the new adventures of RuneScape itself. We are going straight into Havenheith. So this is the biggest expansion yet. We teased it, we showed it, and now we're going to unpack it. So let's get into it. Welcome to the stage. We have Mod Luma. Welcome back to Mod Blackwitch and Mod Zero. Welcome to the stage, guys. I already asked you, but I'm going to ask you two. What are your reactions to the premiere? It must have been so nice seeing all the comments and everything coming in from all the reactions. Did you guys see the comments?
Yes. Relieved.
Relieved.
Obviously happy. It's something we've been working on for a few months.
Yeah.
And even though we were hyped, it's always like, okay, is everyone else going to be hyped?
Yeah,
I hope so. And
of course.
everyone's really hyped.
We're always so critical, right, of everything we do. So every time we see it, like, oh no, are they going to react the same way?
Yeah.
How about you, Azura?
Oh, it's same. Been working on this for so long now. These story ideas for so long. Stories been written for so long. Being able to get those little teasers out there, see people's reactions, see the excitement. Yes, it's
it was
really
the
getting
first
me
time we
hyped.
got to show them off to when we had our Creator Summit. So it must have been quite nice seeing their reactions to it as well. It was really lovely, really, really nice. Oh, okay. Well, before we get into it, in your own words, one word. Well, actually, before we get into that, let's, in your own words, what and where is Havenheith? For anyone who is watching, who doesn't know about Havenheith, obviously we watched the premiere, but in terms of Havenheith itself, what and where is Havenheith?
It's a new landmass to the east.
To the east, yes. To the east. It is. It is itself. Amazing.
Yeah, it's very, well, Draven keeps saying, very organic, made up of a lot of different biomes. It's RuneScape-y, but I guess a bit grander in scale due to technological advancements we've had and just trying to get that nice open space for us to work with. So it's hopefully...
It's a huge space.
It's big, but yeah, hopefully feels like classic RuneScape, which I was very glad when some of the creators said that last week, but then new.
Yeah, nice. That's really nice. So in terms of the vibe, what is the west to east tonal shift like what that players should expect? I know that you were saying, you want to go back to a classic more RuneScape, but it looks very, very safe, until it isn't. So what can players expect, from when they first land to Havenheith to exploring the rest of the land?
Something Zero, I think.
Yeah, so it starts off quite pastoral, kind of like your Lumbridge, your gentle starting area. It's very much meant to evoke classic RS in that way. And then obviously, what you have east of Lumbridge, you slowly go into Mauritania.
Sure.
That was very much the inspiration, except in this instance, it's a bit more varied, a bit more spread out, a lot more in between. One thing's important though, obviously, so the launch of Havenheith Part 1 is going to be very pastoral, peaceful, tranquil, but there's like a hint of darkness. There's like
underlining current of
a little bit of darkness underneath, some hints of that vampire storyline coming in. And then as we go east, it will start to get a bit more mystical, magical, darker into that threat, that more alien almost, even though it's obviously still here in Gillenor, still grounded.
Yeah, for sure. Fantastic. So in terms of, by getting there to Havenheith itself, can you give us the opening hook for players? How do players first get to Havenheith? Why should players go and check out Havenheith? What is the draw from Gillenor itself? Why should they move across to Havenheith? Like, what is drawing them to? Like, is there going to be a connection from RuneScape, the Gillenor itself landmass, to Havenheith?
So I mean, as a player, you want to go there for the cool new content, but
for the content, of course.
From a narrative perspective, you go to Port Sarim. A bartender offers you an experimental drink. Think hot honey mead. It's a little bit hotter than you expect. You pass out and you get a vision from Inanna, the mysterious goddess of Havenheith, basically saying, my people need you, please come help. And you're a hero, so you jump on the next ship.
Of course.
Well, the first one you can find that knows where it is. and you head on over and try to see what all this is about. You
Yeah.
get there and it's like, this place doesn't seem like it's under threat. Everything seems really chill. What's
Yeah,
going on
yeah,
here?
of course.
But then you learn that, yeah, there was a bit more threat than you might have initially thought.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the story between Haven Height and Gielinor itself, do they overlap? Will there be some quests that are overlapping Haven Height and the main lands itself, or are we focusing primarily on Haven Height? So the whole point is that we want to go to this new landscape, right? And that we are staying on this new landscape. It's not going to be like other landscapes, what we've done, other islands, we won't talk about them, but it's going to be other places that are keeping them on that space. That's the whole point. That's why we want to build this up.
Yeah, so on launch, it's mostly just new stuff on Haven Height. There are some quests that Luma made that are just exploring the lives of the daily people there. Very much just daily life, smaller scope quests, and a story which is very much centered on Haven Height.
Yeah.
The lore is very much tied to the mainland. You have like the Colossi, which we'll explore more with the dig site coming later in the year. And there's a lot of lore that ties into the mainland, but the story is mostly self-contained for now. In the future, obviously tying it into the Vampirium Mirror storyline, tying it into other quests in the world, that's more something we might look into.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's important that we want Haven High to just actually feel like part of the world.
Yeah.
So it's not something we just want to release and then forget about.
Absolutely.
We just want to keep coming back to it and add more to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Like on release, it's a huge area. It's a huge, spacious area, and there's that room for it to grow. It's not just jam-packed with everything. You know, you look at Lumbridge Swamp, how it used to be. You look at the area near Manor Farm, and it's just jam-packed with loads of stuff. But in Haven Heights, like, we had that opportunity to just, it's a new landmass. Okay, we have space for content for like years to come without it feeling crowded.
So you heard it here. We've got loads of space, loads of space.
Again, Mod Ramen really wants us to say again that it's an organic part of the world. You missed it. I said it in the beginning.
It is. It's an organic part of the world.
And it's not chock-a-block. Like
it's just like your Misselin. It's just like your Kandarin. It's an extension. It's not a little microcosm.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, there's nothing. You don't go there and you got to do everything. There's like a new currency, like the Ark and whatnot. It's an extension to the world with room to grow.
Definitely, definitely. So bosses, let's get into the bosses. So we've got Silver Quill, we've got Ivar, the King of Bones, both early game focused. In terms of like, you know, the learning goal for each boss, like what should players know about these bosses? Are they more mid to late game?
So they
How
are.
do they fit in?
They're low to mid game. Again, kind of as Zura touched upon, like the starting area is a little bit safer. There's a fair bit of combat aimed for the low to mid level, so it's around 40 to 50 for Ivar and Silver Quill. And they're going to teach stuff like weapon pairing, protection prayers, and whatnot, just to kind of teach low-level combat players those kinds of mechanics. We've also got some new Slayer creatures as well. They're level 35, so again, that low to mid-level.
Nice, really drawing the new players in as well to really explore. Which is nice.
And then we're going to have stuff in future Haven Height updates, which are going to be for the higher level players.
Yeah,
so
sure.
there's going to be something for
we
everyone.
hinted at a later higher level boss that will be coming later. I think another thing we wanted to do was, I think itemization at those early levels is quite limited for certain styles. So it was also a way of adding new weapons, more variety, more choices into the earlier combat levels as well.
I suppose that's one of the learnings that we've recently just had the Flesh Hatcher that's come in, and we had huge amounts of learnings from that. So we're hoping to get the same type of positive sentiment we had from so many people who asked for early to mid game bosses in there. So Haven Height isn't just about combat. We are also obviously pushing Hunter to 110, which is amazing. What is the new approach to Hunter 110 that we've got for players?
Oh, there's so much. There is so much.
So little time.
Mod Ramen and Mod Frosh have been working on Hunter, so yeah, it's getting pushed to 110. You've got new big game hunter called Giant Game Hunter.
Oh, Giant Game Hunter.
Giant Game Hunter. You've also got, birdhouses, black-chin chompers, moth trees,
jackalopes.
There we go. I know I was missing something. Yeah, there's a lot. And again, something for everyone. Jackalopes, kind of lower level, expanding on and rabbit snaring, birdhouses across all levels, and then at your higher end, you've got your giant, mind blanked, giant game hunter
Game Hunter,
from
yes.
96 to 110. So yeah, something for everyone with the hunter update, jam packed, really.
Yeah, it really, really is. It honestly is kind of crazy how much we have. It is absolutely stacked. We have got something for everyone in Haven Heights, and there's space for more.
Yes.
It's not even completely full, which is crazy. We've kind of left space to add more if needed, which hopefully won't be, because I'm hoping, we're all hoping that people will just explore Haven Heights itself and be able to just be like, yeah, this is enough. We don't need more. We don't.
Oh no, we definitely need more. We have a lot
well,
more
just
planned.
in the first section.
Yeah,
just in the
definitely
first
have more
section.
planned, but I do think it's important to say, like, we didn't want Haven High to be as crammed as a lot of the mainland is at the moment. So there are those empty spaces that we just kind of left for ourselves to fill in the future, but also give you that sense of traversal a little bit, that you actually have this big landmass to explore.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it's one of those cases of, if you, the players, want to take any of that, if you want to give us your feedback, again, directing you to that mega thread, we are taking on board everything that we're picking up on and taking it across to the team itself as well to pick on board. So if there's things missing, if you want more of something or less of something, obviously do let us know in the chat, and we'll pass it on. So last question: why release Haven High in parts? Obviously, this is an easy question because it's massive, but in terms of the parts, why are we doing it in parts?
I think you touched on it there partly. We want people's feedback.
Yeah.
If we do it in parts, especially with stuff like a story, you want the story to have time to breathe, characters to have time to breathe, people to get to know them, to explore this place, and then to give us your feedback. And then, we can tweak the future areas to what's interesting people, apply some feedback, and slowly explore this landmass over time rather than forcing it all into one release, which is going to make it smaller, less in-depth, less high quality, less varied.
You'd be waiting a while if you wanted to get everything at once. You touched upon it really well, like making sure each update has really good focus, really good love and care spent on it. Releasing it in parts allows for that.
Yeah, perfect. Right, lightning round. One word. Describe Haven Heights in one word, if you can.
Spacious.
Organic.
I was going to say cool.
Cool. I mean, yeah, sure. It's absolutely cool. It is absolutely cool. And, we'll take from you guys, obviously, when you guys first see Haven Heights, everyone watching, it'll be amazing to see what everyone thinks as well. But thank you, thank you all for joining. Mod Zero, Mod Black Witch, Mod Luma, thank you so much for joining me on stage. And we can't wait to see you again for the next segment. For the next piece. But let's take another look at the roadmap itself to see where we are next. This has been, again, we are looking at the next section at the moment. We've got, and a very exciting piece that's coming. We do have our character rework, our avatar rework. We also have construction, 120, your play your own house. Be interesting to see what what do you think? What do you think at home? What do you want to see in your player-owned house? What would you add? What would you have in there? It'll be quite interesting to see what you guys have. We will be going straight into it. It will be interesting to see what everyone thinks. I want to look at you, chat. What do you guys want in your house? What do you want? Let's see. New Maps Guild, a bank. You want a bank in your house? That would be helpful. That would be helpful. A gym. You want a gym? Yeah, I would like that. A toilet, sure. A water barrel. A water barrel would be quite fun to have. Definitely. Yep. Amazing. Right, so as we get into player-owned house and obviously 120 construction, I am very excited to welcome back Mod Ramen to the set, and welcome to Mod Frosh. How are you both?
Really excited about everything that's coming.
Amazing.
Oh, we've been building to this.
Oh, I see what they do. Bum. Amazing. Oh, God. Right, so player-owned housing and 120 construction. Obviously, this has been years of dreaming. How long has it been we've been talking about this? How long have you been working on this update for?
So in terms of actually working on it. We're still in the design stages. So next steps are going to be talking to the community, asking the bold questions of what does player housing mean to you? What has player housing meant to you? It is a project we've sort of peeked in at over the years, toyed with ideas, looked at little different bits of tech, but we're starting this week. So it's super exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Again, player-owned house and 120 construction, that goes hand in hand, right? So there's not going to be any differentiation between both of them, or it could be. Who knows? I suppose. What can players expect if you have any sort of inkling of what your vision is for player-owned housing or the update itself?
It's looking at, again, that question we're going to ask the players, like, what is housing to RuneScape?
Yeah.
What does your house mean to you? Everyone's sort of been through the sort of, I'm going to build my house up, I'm going to make it super pretty, but only I go there. Yeah. And it's not been something we've supported over the years. So how do we look back at the last 25 years of content? How do we bring that to the house? How do we make all that stuff evergreen? So no matter what you're doing on your journey, you bring it towards the house. But also, how do you share your house with others? What's the community aspect of it?
Yeah, for sure.
I think another big aspect is for you to be able to build your house as you see fit and as you envision it.
Right.
At the moment, we have quite a big limitation in that you can only build, on specific hotspots, and specific rooms are limited to specific furniture.
Yeah.
So we're definitely looking to break that up a bit and allow you some freedom in how you create.
Really give players a sense of their own style, their own personalities into that house.
Put the larder in the bedroom if you want. Put the bedroom in the kitchen if you want. Like,
do what you want. You can leave it outside. Do what you want.
The palette is open. We can try and go as crazy as possible, but also what's really important is to build a solid foundation. Construction and the player in house is that, again, using that term evergreen, it's that thing that should be with you on your journey all the way from the first time you get that little wooden chair and that little, what is it, living room? It's 4 wooden walls, but
it really is.
Just taking it all the way, and then, as you hang up your matscape or hang up your completionist cape, you can look around and go, look, these are all the things I've done. They take you back to a memory, a time, a place. It doesn't have to just be in game, but maybe that friend built you that demonic throne. It's community.
Yeah. So they can pretty much get from, you touched on this, I remember during the creator, when we were during the creator summit, it was about, if you're going through your adventure through Gielinor and you're on a quest, you can potentially take something. If you liked something from that quest or that boss that you did, you can take a piece of something and then be able to present it in your house, like, proudly, rather than just having the same old stuff, and it becomes quite samey, I guess. Yeah. It's about building that character, building that you're putting your own personality into that house and being able to share it with everyone as well, which is really nice. And in terms of, for you guys all watching at home as well, this is, again, we want that feedback from you guys. So please let us know what kind of direction you want to see the house going in. If it is the player-owned house in terms of, like, what you kind of envision for it, if it's involving more people, if you want to invite more people to the house. We do remember the house party that existed 20 years ago. We won't go into it, but we won't have a repeat of that. But it's one of those moments that made history for RuneScape. So
why not have a piece of furniture that commemorates it?
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't just have to be myth or legend, but you can have your own.
And not just a plaque in a garden.
Just a piece of it.
Yeah, definitely. That's the nice thing. That's the nice thing we want to do. Yes. a lot of the comments, the chat is going wild for the massacre.
But there'll be some people out there that have absolutely no idea what you're going on about.
No, there won't be, which is the funny thing about it. It is the funny thing. So it is quite funny. We did have a moment in RuneScape history, which can you remind people about the Falador
Can you
massacre?
recall it?
Well,
It's involving a player owned house.
I can recall it if you want.
Go for
Yeah. Was it 2006? Was it?
Oh, don't give me dates.
20th anniversary.
Yeah. House party in the house of Cursed You, I believe. Hey.
He studied.
What was it? He kicked people out, and there was a bug, and some people were able to kill other players outside of the wilderness in Falador and in Remington as well, I guess.
Effing chat.
And Duriel went on a rampage and stole a bunch of party hats and gear.
Oh gosh.
And many things.
Yeah, the infamous green party hat.
Yeah.
Arim's robes.
Yeah. My goodness.
Terrifying.
It did happen. So, quick fire round. Before we go, I want to do, I say quick fire round. What is the one dream item that you would like to put in your house, that you would like to see?
You answer first, because I haven't thought about it.
I have thought about it just before. As a kid, I was always obsessed with secret tunnels, secret compartments, and such things. And I always wanted a house with a secret tunnel, which I'm actually buying one right now, and it does have a secret tunnel.
It has a secret tunnel?
Well, it's more of a hatch.
Well, it's not so secret now, is it? We all know there's a secret tunnel under your house.
However, yep, that is absolutely something I'd want to put into my house. I guess mechanically it would end up just being, more teleports, secret tunnels into various different places in Gielinor.
You won't tell us where, though.
Yeah.
It's all secret.
Definitely into that tunnel at the Grand Exchange for sure.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
How about
that's
you?
me.
Given a bit of thought.
Little thought.
Honestly, I like to commemorate sort of big moments in my RuneScape journey, and one of the biggest for me was Nex. Like the excitement of 2011, the frozen door. You walk up to it, you hear Nex's voice for the first time. Oh, it's mental. I would love a bit of furniture, the frozen door. I'd make it. I'd set it behind my thrones.
Nice.
I'd put some Virtus armor on a stand here, some Torva, some Pernix, and I'd make my kitchen.
Yeah.
Godwar's dungeon.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is something small, nothing major.
Nothing major.
Just something subtle.
Yeah.
Just a little something in the kitchen.
That's for me. It's a little piece of.
Amazing.
Little piece of me.
Love that. A little piece of ramen.
No, you can't have that. Well, you can if you want. Vote.
But so I want to thank Mod Ramen and Mod Frosh for joining me on stage. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see our play around house and our construction. Do give in your feedback on our mega thread on Reddit right now, and let us know your thoughts. We are now going to switch across to what our player avatar rework is going to look like. Now, this is obviously something that is, again, another huge journey that we've been looking into for such a long time now. We've been working on this a back and a forth of, are we going to do it? We're not going to do it. Then we move into doing it, and then we don't do it. But we're now finally doing it. We're finally doing it now. So super excited to finally have this dropped for everyone. And, it's coming. It's absolutely coming. I want to welcome Mod Damo to the stage. Hello, Mod Damo.
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So let's get into the player avatar, itself. What can players expect from, in the first drop in April from the player avatar?
So there'll be 4 main areas that will definitely be going out in April. So we will have the new player avatar heads and chat heads.
Amazing.
We'll have the new character create outfits, and we'll have all of the optional basic hairstyles that will be going out with those as well.
Fantastic. Obviously you said it. As you'll all expect everything that should be coming in at the moment. Obviously the chat heads. What's changing with the chat heads? What should players expect that are changing?
So they'll be in line with the look of the player avatar model itself. So there'll be parity between the two. And then they'll also have all of their animations updated as well. So they'll be using a new rig. So they'll be trying to update the existing animations that we have in game, but done to a high fidelity. So be able to express all of those different emotions in a much better way than they currently do.
Yeah,
but while still maintaining that field of the existing one, just in a better way.
Sure.
got some pictures of our the latest models that are coming in. I hope everyone is excited for this, because it has been a piece which we are looking forward to. I mean, how long has this been in the works now?
Well, we started it back in 2001. Not 2001.
2001.
Sorry,
You heard it took 25 years, people, to make. My goodness.
2021. Sorry.
2021. There we
so
go.
it's been effectively on hold for the last 5 years while we've tried to work out some of the issues in the background. A lot of those is simply that we just don't have the resource to do the extent of the work that's needed. But through things like better tooling and a better idea of exactly what's required of the projects, we're able to plan it and do things in a slightly more sensible and quicker way. So,
well, I was going to say, like, what has been, the tech issues that we have faced that has kept us from. A lot of players have always asked, why, we've sort of said that we're going to do it and then we don't. What has been the tech issues that we've faced, which has kept us from continuing? Because it is difficult. It's one of those pieces, and personally for me, like, before I don't want to interrupt you, but it has been one of those spectacular moments of what an avatar is. With old school RuneScape, for example, it's a very their avatar is a very known piece. That you look at that avatar, that's old school RuneScape. So we are trying to create a moment in RuneScape history where we create that moment for our own avatar as well. So I suppose it's always been about getting it right, I guess.
Yeah, precisely. One of the major reasons we didn't do it in the first place is because there was a field that we couldn't achieve everything we wanted to in a time frame with the resource that we had. There's a sheer number of models that we have in game that we'd have to kind of update in order to bring everything in line with the new heads and arms and feet and hands and so on that go into it. But we've managed to track down exactly what's needed, work out how we can put out a first release which doesn't feel like it's a halfway solution. There'll still be more work to do because, as I say, there's a large amount of models in the game which need updating. But we've managed to work out a way in which we can provide a first stage release which feels like a true update to the character avatar.
Yeah.
And we'll fill in the rest as we go beyond that.
So what can players expect from, this is the first step in our player avatar. How many steps, can we say how many steps we envision that's going ahead?
Well, the first stage should cover the majority of it.
Yeah.
But as you know, there'll be many bodies and legs and hand models throughout the game that will have areas of skin components and so on within them. That's just not really achievable in the first stage, but we're doing our best to ensure that when players put on their helmets and their tiaras and wear different hairstyles, that in every one of those instances they'll have a new head, and that where it joined onto the body, it'll match those parts of the body, so it'll look like a true update in those instances. There may just be models here and there where you may see a small patch here and there of the old skin, and we'll kind of get to those as we're able, really.
Yeah. So if you see those in game, do tell us about it, and we will try to fix it because they shouldn't be there. And the dreaded Play-Doh look, we are trying to get away from that.
Absolutely, yes. We're doing everything we can to ensure that the kind of surface materials on things like skin and clothing and hair are much more sympathetic to the way that they look on our current models. So you won't have that kind of featureless clay-like surfacing on things. Which I know that players are passionate about, and we have taken that on board, and we're currently looking into solutions for that.
Yeah, definitely. It's exciting stuff. It's absolutely phenomenal. We will be obviously sharing some more information. I know that there's been some requests of what the female body, the female avatar will look like. When can we expect to see potentially some information on that, do you reckon?
Well, we have our character artists working on it at the moment. The male avatar is almost finished in terms of the modelling. So we're still looking at the kind of texturing side of things, but it's in the works, and the female avatar sculpt is being currently worked on as well.
Yeah.
So if all goes to plan, we should have the finished avatar models that we can start utilising within the next couple of weeks.
Next couple of weeks, you heard it here, folks. It's super exciting stuff. Amazing. So I want to, before we go on, It's one of those pivotal moments again in RuneScape history where we are finally doing everything within our roadmap, within our integrity roadmap as well. It's all intertwining, everything that we're seeing with the player avatar, with all the refreshes, the rebalancing, everything that's coming. There is more coming, I believe. This isn't just the final. This isn't the only step that people can expect for the player avatar rework. There's more coming, I expect.
Yes,
in
there
terms
will
of
be.
more or more NPCs. Like, because the one question I had was, what in chat especially, I want you to tell me what you prioritize. Is it hairstyles? Is it armor updates? Is it NPCs? Like, are we going to be seeing everything updated? But not obviously in April.
No, not in April.
Not everything in April.
Eventually, yes. That is the idea, that we'd like to bring all of the player avatar models, at least in terms of the kind of base skin and clothing and hairstyles, all up to a modern standard.
Yeah.
And that the work we're putting in now will roll out onto the NPCs throughout the world as well. So you'll start to see that parity, that consistency in terms of the graphical styles of any kind of human character throughout the game.
Amazing so much. It's incredible. Right, I want to say a big thank you so much to Mod Demo. Thank you so much for joining me. We can't wait to see everything that's coming for the Avatar rework. It's absolutely phenomenal. Before we go off to the next section of announcements, we have our last giveaway coming up. So again, do head on over to our Discord channel, RS giveaway right at the top. We have one special winner will be in a chance to win the RS25 anniversary desk mat. Now, this is an incredible piece, an absolutely beautiful piece. I'm so jealous of whoever wins this. Jagex won't give me one. I want one. Please give me one. It's beautiful. It's one of the best pieces I've ever seen. It's from one of our incredible artists. Forgive me, I've completely forgotten the name of who made this. They've done some incredible work for us as well. They did our beautiful for OSRS, the sailing skill artwork. So it is not AI generated. It is not, I promise you, it is from one of our very own artists, absolute artists. But so go on to our Discord RS giveaway channel and be in a chance to win. Now we go into one of our sections which everyone is super excited about. We are going to talk about RuneFest. RuneFest, let's go. This is a super exciting time. RuneFest is back, baby. So we're not going to give you the full pitch today, but we are going to tell you we can't wait to see you. We can't wait to see you in October. So we are going to welcome two of our wonderful guests. We have Mod Parish and Mod Mermaid. Welcome to the set. Welcome to RS25 RuneScape Expanded. So tell us a bit about yourselves. How have you guys been involved in RuneFest? This is the first time players have seen you.
Yeah, delighted to be here.
Yeah.
Hi to the stream. So I have been involved in RuneFest since 2014. So I have worked on 7 RuneFests.
7 RuneFests. 7.
None as much as 2025, where I was fortunate enough to get to work on the core planning team for RuneFest in my role as creative director on the project. So it's basically everything audio-visual, from managing the stages and all the content on the stages to what everything looked like, from thematics to the branding to pretty much anything you saw on the show.
Yeah.
So
Love
yeah,
that.
and I cannot wait to do this again. This is absolutely the most exciting thing.
It really is. It really, really is. How about you, Mod Mermaid? Mod
Hi,
Mermaid, there we go.
happy to be here.
Yeah.
So yeah, my name is Mod Mermaid. I actually am fairly new to Jagex, and RuneFest 2025 was my first RuneFest, but I came on
You did a
just
phenomenal job.
Thank
Well
you
done.
very much. I came on just in time to be basically project lead of the project, so doing everything that was needed essentially to make sure that we had an event and that it was safe, and that all of the stage presenters and the volunteers and the players were able to come together and celebrate RuneScape. So it was a really amazing experience.
Definitely. So what's been for you guys? What's been the learnings that you guys have picked up on since last RuneFest that we are now applying to this year?
We could alternate a little bit. You
Yeah.
want to go first and I'll pick up?
Sure, I'll go first. I think the main one is more tickets, right? So excitingly, this year we are actually going to be doubling the number of tickets available to 6,000. And I think coming back last year after a 6-year hiatus, none of us could have anticipated the level of demand that we saw for the tickets, with them selling out so quickly that I actually thought the ticketing website was broken. So
we all did. There
we
were
all
moments
did.
where the website just completely crashed. We're like, no, it's ruined. just scrap
It's
it all.
over. But yeah, I think that was an incredible test case, and with that in mind, we have now been able to really, just scale this to a level that's never been seen before. So it'll be double the size of the hall, double the tickets, and double everything that people love the most about RuneFest.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so exciting. It's super exciting stuff.
Okay, well, you've definitely taken the easy one first up. But no, I think we learned so much from RuneFest last year, and where could we start without saying, more space, more content. So we've doubled the amount of people coming in, we've doubled the size of the space, and we are getting 2 stages within our full arena space this year. 100% confirmed. We'll have our glorious main stage where we will spotlight all of the biggest content that we have in mind, but then we are going to get that secondary panel stage vibe going, a smaller stage, smaller space, more informative, more interesting, different side content that we can talk about, and that's going to run Saturday and Sunday. So we effectively operated with 1 main stage on Saturday last time round, and then we had 2 stages, one which was off-site on the Sunday. So there's a little walk. That's gone. Everything's happening in our one RuneFest hall, and that's one of the learnings from last year that we are excited to put into play. I reckon we can probably do a few more on this because we learned a lot from last year, and it was such a phenomenal success. But I think there's plenty more that we got out of it.
Yeah, of course. And I think bringing back the event for the team for the first time to such a large audience, there were some things that were complete surprises to us. Like, I think we did not expect that at one point in the merch store there would be over 1,000 people in the queue on Saturday morning.
It was a big queue. If anyone remembers, it was a massive queue. Yeah,
it was a big old queue, and hopefully people managed to get most of the merch that they wanted, but we're hoping to really just like scale up the logistics of the merch store this year. So it's going to be like a more than doubled footprint, more than doubled queuing space, like more than doubled tills, and also we're going to be implementing learnings like how can we make pre-order pickup a bit more separated from that so that people can do that earlier on before the main merch store opens, staggered entry, just a bunch of different stuff to make sure that people can get those merch lines that they want. And of course we're going to be having more in stock of those key lines that everybody wanted so much as well, like the official event tee and hoodie.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so speaking of merch, is there going to be more people can potentially expect from the stuff? I mean, we've already got some of that new RS25 merch, which has been really lovely to see. So for Runefest itself, like the logo itself is, I'm not sure if anyone has noticed, but it is a new logo.
So yeah, it's an updated logo. We're playing off the same brand that we wanted to build on success of, but there is a little Easter egg in there for anyone with eagle eyes and a good aptitude for different RuneScape languages. They might be able to.
Everyone's taking screenshots. Everyone's doing screenshots of the logo. What is the Easter egg? We won't tell you. You'll have to find out.
That effectively represents what will hopefully be an underrunning theme of RuneFest this year. We are really looking to celebrate our full history, and hopefully we will have something amazing from all the eras.
Yeah, definitely. It's a wonderful piece. We managed to. I don't think we ever anticipated how impactful Runefest really was. I think looking back at it and seeing the issues that we had with the group that we were going to work with. Obviously, we had to cancel it in September, and then we moved it to March. In hindsight, it was probably one of the best things that probably happened because we got to see a huge moment where, all the Jagex employees, all the JMods ended up, everyone stepping up and moving forward to help with running Runefest, which is such a lovely thing to see. And then, getting the line, everyone sort of going line, everyone clapping to welcome everyone coming in. That is going to happen again. We are doing that again, right? We absolutely, I hope so.
I hope that our JMods fans can withstand like clapping 6,000 people into the hall. That's
going to be a long queue. That's going to be a lot of clapping.
Maybe
we'll take turns. Well,
we've
got one group of people clapping and then we'll swap.
But I think it's really key, Yui, and I think everybody, I do just want to emphasize how much this is a group collaboration between all of the different teams and all of the JMods that we have at Jagex. It's an in-house production, like our video team, our creative services team, our game teams, everybody from legal to commercial, everybody contributes in their own way. And yeah, this year we're hoping to bring even more JMods than ever before, and I think it's just an amazing moment to celebrate that unique relationship between JMods and players and get them face to face.
Yeah,
it's been a cornerstone, I think, of all the RuneFests, but it's always been staffed by JMods, and I can tell you not just from the perspective of I know how much on site our players love merging and getting to meet and properly being able to talk to JMods, but it's very much the same the other way around.
Yeah,
right? And the glow around the studio post RuneFest. It had been 6 years since we'd done a RuneFest.
It was so good.
Just it's phenomenal. Everybody that attended had an amazing time from our side as well.
Yeah, Definitely.
Even those who were picking up cabbages off of the range floor for about 20 hours over the weekends.
So. I mean, it's a core part of RuneFest. If you're not picking up cabbages, then are you at RuneFest? It's one of those cases. I was just laughing to myself because someone yes, and socks. We will have socks.
So many socks.
All the socks.
More
we'll
socks
make
than
sure
you know.
get the socks.
I think that was definitely from being behind the stage in 2025. One of the highlights was talking with Austin between sects on.
I don't think anyone anticipated how popular Austin was. The socks, my goodness.
He was fantastic.
He did a great job.
He talked to us beforehand. We were talking about what we could do on the stage for the Golden Gnomes, and it was Austin's idea. He came in and said, "Can you get me some merch?
Give me the socks.
Can you get me some merch? I want to do some giveaways. I want to get that going." And it basically became a meme. It became an absolute firepower that led into the party, which was just. Yeah, amazing. So it was little things like that sometimes that catch you by surprise. But end up being,
and especially the opening
really
as well. Big shout out to Cole Rowland as well for
so much.
An incredible piece. And Mod Ash, that piece, my goodness. Are we, hopefully, if we can expect something bigger, but, we'll leave that to Mod Mermaid and Mod Parish to cook.
We can't tell you particulars, but we can guarantee you that we'll be looking to start RuneFest with a bang.
Oh, yes. So where can players find out more information about RuneFest? Where can they go?
So people can head over to runefest.com for now, and I can only say at the moment the tickets are coming this spring, but we'll let you guys know when they're coming, how to get them with plenty of time, and we'll be updating with an FAQ with plenty more information then as well.
Perfect. I mean, you've got 6,600 tickets, was it?
6,000 tickets.
6,000
extra 600.
6,000 tickets. We've doubled from 3,000.
Steady on you.
An extra 600.
We doubled up.
Why not? Just add 600 more people. But yeah, that's absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me. Here are your wonderful JMods who will be running RuneFest. Thank you, Mama May. Thank you, Mod Parish, for joining us.
Thank you.
On set. We can't wait to see you again. Cool. Amazing. Let's look back quickly at the roadmap. We are almost done with this incredible live stream, but we are going to be going into another pivotal thing that is coming in our roadmap, which is leagues. It's leagues. We're bringing back leagues. It's time to basically switch your brain off and basically just be unstoppable. It's this segment. Super excited to welcome two very special people back onto stage. We have the amazing Mod Ryan and we have the amazing Mod Breezy, who are going to be talking to us about Leagues 2. So yeah, let's get into it. So what can players expect from Leagues 2 this year?
More. Just more. More power.
That's it, folks.
More power, more fun, more things to do.
And a real big focus on resolving / all the issues that were mentioned in Leagues 1. It was a good, really big success, but equally a great testing ground for what to do better next time. So Leagues 2, I think we said it in the RS Ahead, it's faster progression, better sort of power creep, I want to say. It's not 100 hours before it feels like a league. It might be only 5 hours and you're suddenly feel like you're cheating the game, which is exactly what League's about.
Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. It's just more. We want more. But yeah, that was my question. It's going to be what has been the learnings of Catalyst that we are now applying to Leagues 2? We've got the quests. We are being overpowered. We are doing more to take away from the grinds that people complained about in the first league. And is that what players are hopefully going to be expecting for this league?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something you should expect. Some of the big things that came out of the first league was things like the power fantasy, what we call the power fantasy. Leagues is about having things that are busted and just fun. It's not about sticking to certain rules or whatever. It's just going all out. We want to really dig even deeper into that and just make things feel even more busted. The same applies for for combat as well. Mm-hmm. So melee ended up being the big choice for everyone, and that came quite late. And even then, when you got to the end, it kind of felt quite sort of standard, so to say.
Sure.
So we want to dig into that again deeper, go and give everyone just much more powerful abilities, stats, whatever it may be, and then also like bring that in earlier as well, because we feel that and the players feel that came in a bit too late for the first leagues.
It's really about I think when you play leagues, you want to play the game but in a different way, and you want to feel. I used the word cheated earlier. Like I think it's like that sort of like modded game type where it should feel like you're cheating the system. I think in the one we just ran, the League's Catalyst, to the point of like there were nice buffs for combat, but it was just a little buff. And now I think it's more. I think this time, doing crazy things with the styles that just feel insane and just feel overpowered, and that's kind of the intention.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those cases of, for leagues, this is our first leagues, and it's we take on the learnings as much as we can from we take on learnings with the help from OSRS. They're about to go into their 6th leagues, so it's been great for us to be able to learn from everyone, players included, on what we can improve on. So in terms of talk us through like the faster progression, the quests, relics, tier pacing. Like, is there anything that we can potentially talk to players about, or is this more you want the feedback from players to sort of help guide us into what we want to do next?
Yeah, I mean the feedback is always welcome. Like whether you have ideas now or next month or whatever, always give us it. Some of the other things that we talked about, and again seen from the players, was things like better task balancing, so better balancing on points. Some of them felt out of whack. It didn't feel like the input was proportional to the output. So we want to make sure that's much better this time around as well. Similarly, like with the relic balancing, we want the relic balancing to be much better, because again, if you looked at the stats, everyone more or less picked the same relics all the way throughout. We want there to be more of a choice. We don't want it to make you feel like you made the wrong choice, but we definitely do want it to be a harder choice, and for those relics to be more impactful to like the things you want to do, the tasks that are at hand, and whatever other sort of mechanic or like overlying system that there is. We want those relics to really feel part of it, feel meaningful.
Absolutely. And from a progression standpoint, I think it goes without saying, the Leagues One, like I said, it was massive success, but equally some of the gameplay felt linear. It was like, I'm just doing what I would have done in the main game, whereas this time round it's really about putting that spin on it. So your route, as they say, through Leagues 2 shouldn't be, well, this is how I train an Iron Man, I go and do all this stuff. Leagues 1 was very much like play the main game but with massive buffs, massive like XP boosts and stuff, because of course we mentioned in the RS Ahead, like did I say it? I think I said it, and a new twist or something like that. Of course in old school they have area restrictions, we are, as Breezy mentioned, looking for feedback on what would you love to see from Leagues 2. Now we don't need to be doing area restrictions, but it's a possibility. There's many twists you could do. We have a 25-year-old game which we're celebrating. You could flip it on its head in so many different ways, and we have a good amount of ideas. But equally, it's one of those things. We want to make the journey throughout the league feel completely different to how you'd normally play the game. People rooting in different areas, and as Breezy mentioned, the choices you make should feel meaningful. Not everyone just taking the invention relic, which was like a 99% relic choice or something.
Too many.
But yeah, taking your own routes, but the route feeling good. One of you might be insane at something, and then the person next to you is insane at something else, and that's just based on the choice that you made.
So how does this tie in with, we've got the integrity roadmap that we're currently working on at the moment. What can players expect that's going to be tying in into leagues? What will they see? What will they hopefully see by leagues to this point?
Yeah, I'll start on that. I think by the point in which Leagues 2 is released, we see where it is on the roadmap. We don't give any specific dates, but you can see where it is on the roadmap. There's let's say a good 6 months, I think, of meaningful integrity updates. So by the time you played Leagues 2, you'll get to start the game fresh. You'll get to feel like, early game rebalances, albeit XP rates are massively inflated, but, daily scape changes would have been enforced ahead of that. There's a bunch of other stuff. So it's quite a nice, fresh opportunity to play RuneScape again and feel a bunch of the changes that have been made. So I'm excited for that, to just see, those who only played Leagues 1 and then maybe say haven't been playing RuneScape since, when they come back for Leagues 2, they'll be able to play and talk about, wow, since Leagues 1, look at all the things that have changed.
Of course.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
We had a lot of that on mind during when Leagues 1 had released. We were already in discussions and designs for all the integrity roadmap pieces.
Yeah.
We're sitting there the whole time like, man, we can't wait until people come back to this the next time around and see all the changes to play through leagues. There's lots of things like Mod Ryan says. There's dailyscape changes, so you might not be doing worldy events every hour on leagues anymore.
Yeah.
No more D&Ds on leagues. There are various like early game, maybe mid game rebalances coming out between now and then. So there might be a little change up to how you approach certain skills, maybe even combat encounters as well. Lots of things like that. And I think also just to touch on as well, there's lots of smaller bits of feedback throughout leagues that we got. So it might be things like drop rates, maybe things like dupe protection. These are things that we're investigating, where we know like when it got to that, especially like near the end of leagues for people, those things felt really sort of grindy and really sort of monotonous. We want to look at making that process smoother overall.
Yeah, I think honestly, if there's a dial, like we're dialing it to max. Like,
don't be scared. Just tell it all the way up.
Honestly, that's probably what I'm going to say exactly to the team working on. I'm just going to say, just dial it to the max, and League 2 maybe too busted. We'll find out, and then everyone's like, please, don't make it too fast. But I think it's a good opportunity to,
We made it too hard at the beginning, and now we're making it too easy for the second.
We'll see. It's just a nice opportunity. I think that's one of the great things about leagues, is it gives us the opportunity to take the game we love and just mess it up in a good way. Like change it however you like. The freedom is quite there's a lot of freedom with it.
Yeah, definitely. I want to touch on some other parts. Obviously part of not just leagues, but we didn't touch on fully on some of the areas that we hadn't near the beginning. But there were some, looking at the integrity and the content roadmap. Is there more that you could potentially go into? Because obviously, looking at the content, could we look at the content roadmap?
We can put it on the screen, absolutely,
and see what we've got coming up. So, is there more? Obviously, players could potentially expect on this that you wanted to touch up on.
Yeah, absolutely. I do not remember what the blog says, so if this is said in the blog, if it's not said in the blog, then feel free to quote me. But yeah, I mean, looking at the road to restoration, there is a bit of text at the bottom that mentions, includes further UI updates, balancing updates, and visual updates released throughout the year. The actual section at the bottom is trying to outline like key updates, but things like sweep up, the deep clean, you might be asking, what's that? I think that is quite general, it's quite general purposely. The idea is, this could include things like cleaning up the buff bar, simplification of elements, whether it's login messages. It could include things like unified collection log, which I know people spoke a lot about. So there's a lot of these opportunities for things. I think I mentioned it earlier, but clean up of how we reward certain content from events. I'm just riffing now, but the 20 buffs that when you go to wiki and say, hey, how do I woodcut, and it lists 20 buffs that you should be getting before you start woodcutting, clean up of that, really trying to simplify our game for the better, not simplify just to remove everything, but to remove the complexities that are unnecessary. So that's what a lot of the sort of sweep up updates are, the balancing updates are. I think you'll notice with Haven Hive, sorry, I have loads I could say on this, but I won't say too much. But if you look at Haven Hive, it mentions 2 new early game bosses. We released the mid game boss last year.
Yeah.
We want to focus on, modernization of combat. We want to build out the early to late game. We know late game RuneScape is insanely fun. There's so much cool stuff in it, but we want to build that out over time, allow you to enjoy the journey more, progress through the journey, have meaningful reasons to do things. We want to remove some of the linearity of skills as well.
Yeah.
I'm sort of Breezy's got some examples, but you could pick a skill and there's probably maybe 1 or 2 methods of how you train it. And we want to get back to the idea of, I want to do this because it's AFK and reasonable XP, or I want to do this because I'm happy to lean forward, do a lot of gameplay and it's more XP or more rewards. So there's more options available to you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, covered in some of the balancing updates. Breezy, I don't know if you want to give some examples maybe of things like the cache conversation maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you mentioned it earlier at all in your dailyscape.
No, I didn't, no. I mean, one of the examples that we spoke about for cache, for example, fixing caches, in terms of dailyscape, it's a problem. It's a problem at different bits in your RuneScape journey, that especially when you start leagues or things like Group Ironman, it's everyone's in there, everyone's doing it. We know it's an issue for dailyscape, having it capped. It's really, really powerful. So one of the examples that we talk about when we talk about fixing dailyscape is, what if we just made it part of the training, part of the core training of divination. So let's just say you go to a certain level and you unlock the divination cache as a method similar to how you unlock Hall of Memories, for example. And then for certain level bands, you train divination as an option using Gafixian caches. And that's just about where it's like, we're not going to remove the content, we're not going to remove the rewards from it.
Sure.
But we might make some tweaks and just integrate it into the skill much better. And that way, again, you have options. So if you just want to sit and AFK a bit of divination, you could just sit at the Rift and do that. If you want to have a bit more sort of lean forward and active gameplay, go and do caches. And we want to take that approach to as much as possible and look for ways that we can integrate, like, can we take problems and turn them into opportunities, if I had to use some corporate speak almost. But
there's one more thing on the roadmap that I will mention is because, again, the RuneScape Ahead, of course, while a meaty video, there's
Very
detail,
meaty.
it's
A lot of
there's
details in
detail
there.
in there. It can be small in places. Things like social improvements. I think it mentioned things like broadcast for collection log achievements, mentioned like improving chat distance, but a slight comment I think was made on clans, but like our ideal for things like RuneScape was always a social game. It still is today, but we want to improve on that. I think things like clans, it's very hard to even find a clan right now. You have to be invited to it. So things that we'd love to look at there, potentially a clan finder, just imagine something simple, little notice board, clans that are advertising, but they want people, you click it, you say request to join or something along those lines. So just a bit more details in some of these, but we are going to, throughout the entire year, this year, I would say next year, but we are in 2026, is work with yourselves, the players. This is a massive journey. It's your journey just as much as ours. We want to talk to you about everything on here, keep you up to date on what our plans are, why we're changing things or why we're doing things. Equally, what do you guys want? It's a really, I think Rahman said it well earlier, putting the game back in the players' hands. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute journey we're all going to go on together.
It is. It's a super exciting time for RuneScape history at the moment. It's been so lovely being able to read all your comments on this as well. We do have a lot to go through. It's one of those moments of your being here with us to witness history being made. Treasure Hunter being gone, all the other stuff that's coming in with Integrity, the Road to Restoration, and with the content roadmap itself. So it's a big day. It's a big day. But I want to say a big thank you to Mod Ryan and Mod Breezy for joining me. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with us. Okay, Scapers, this has been a big day for us. Big moment. I want to take a last look at our wonderful roadmap. So you guys get to see everything that we're coming. We will be getting, obviously, no one's really touched upon this, but we have got, obviously, the Haven Hive Part 2, which is coming at the end of, beginning or around Q4. Around Q4 time. So it's incredibly exciting that we get to continue this adventure that we're coming up to. RS25, it's not just a birthday for us. It's a huge moment. It's our road to restoration. We are trying to fix the issues and all the things that are have been plaguing us since not even since day one, but for quite some time now. So it's been so nice that we get to share all this stuff. We've got the Haven Hive, we've got the Avatar rework, we've got player-owned house, 120 construction, alongside with all the integrity, the road to restoration alongside that. It's one of the most important years in RuneScape history for all of us, and you'll get to be part of that. And all the feedback, everything that you guys have done since day one, how you have been on that journey with us. So I want to personally just say thank you for sticking with us. It's been a long time that I've been watching and seeing the journey from players coming into from old school RuneScape and the battles that we've had to share. But it's been so nice being able to see the players that have stuck with RuneScape for such a long time. We have made it. And this is only the beginning for us. This is only the beginning for us, because this year is going to be the best year. It's going to be the best year for all of us. And yeah, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for the J-Mods, the guests that have appeared on set with me. It has been so nice being able to get their insights for everything that's come up. And thank you for joining me on stream today. I know everyone's itching and dying to be playing RuneScape. I'm hoping that you've all got me on your second monitors at the moment while you're playing and looking through what we've been able to change. So we love you so much. I love you too. So before we go out, I want to raid one of one of our creators who has been again with us since day one, since the day of beginning, the day of the first day of Gielinor. He probably has been in Gielinor from the first day, but I want to raid the RS guy who is live right now. Thank you so much, everyone, so much for joining us. Go to our Discord for our giveaway channel. It is still live at the moment. We love you so much. We will see you in Gielinor. Bye, everyone.
Okay, I'm gonna put y'all on the Be Back Soon screen right now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and find the jobber here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And then we'll go back to that. Perfect. All right, so the last thing I want to do for this little stream here is I just want to take a little bit of a look at this blog post. They did say that there was going to be a little extra information in the blog post. So, yeah, I just want to kind of peek through here a little bit. We're not going to read every single thing. We're going to just take a quick look and see if there's some things that maybe we can get a little extra info about. Specifically the combat update, because that's supposed to be coming in February. But here we go. Treasure Hunter no more. So let's see. Hundreds of gameplay impacting MTX items will no longer be available. Blah, blah, blah. Over the course of 2026, players will have the opportunity to use up any existing stockpiles, with additional chances later in the year to clear out anything that remains before these items are ultimately made obsolete. So this is something they mentioned in the YouTube video today, but they are going to be, it looks like, they are going to be giving you an opportunity to like mass use some of these MTX resources that maybe you don't get used up throughout the year, is what they made it sound like when they were talking during the premiere on YouTube. And then here we've got some things that are going live today. So we had the UI update. This is mostly just taking it back to a more classic look, I guess. And trying to clean things up and maybe make things a little smaller with a little more like definition. So instead of having to have huge buttons, we're looking at having like maybe some smaller but more well-defined kind of UI elements. The cosmetic toggle is going live today, apparently. So we can hide worn customizations, we can hide animation customizations, and then we can hide other players' familiars is coming soon. I probably won't be doing this because I like, people's stuff, but... And then we've got the big update. There's actually a really cool little map in here. So this is the area that they're doing right now, or that they have done, that is updated already. And if you look in here, it says the green areas have been fully updated. Ah, crap. I broke it. Hey, I didn't break it. Yeah, so the green areas have been fully updated. That's going to include Lumbridge down here. It's going to include all of the Lumbridge Swamp going all the way up into Varick, and Edgeville and all that stuff up here. The blue areas are areas that have had quite a bit of work done but aren't totally completed. So you've got, your Magic Tower. You've got all this stuff leading over into Mauritania. You've got Fort 4 and 3. You've got everything up here from Berthorpe all the way down into Falador. And then things like Port Sarum and the little bit of the desert that you normally have access to don't look like they've gotten any updates, which is unfortunate, but okay. Don't care about any of that. Game update, free rune metrics. So this isn't available now, but sometime in the spring, they are going to be giving access to the rune metrics functionality for free. This is actually really huge. I think this is something that gets looked at a lot by some of the sort of higher tier, more optimization players. But there's some really cool information that you can get out of the rune metrics, so that's going to be really cool to have access to. Now, I think that they have something similar to this in OSRS that is already part of their subscription, like it's going to be with RS3. But something I read said that the one for OSRS is hosted on your machine, and then the one for RS3 is hosted on a server. And so there's just a little more overhead cost with the one from RS3. So it looks like maybe they're trying to take care of some of that, or maybe just try and add value to the membership to try and bring in, more membership players to help recover some of the revenue from losing Treasure Hunter, which is fine with me. I think that's great. No longer offering the purchase of Rune Metrics Pro subscriptions from today. Okay. Wider plans to decommission the Rune Metrics Pro website feature entirely later this year. Existing Pro subscribers will have additional time to download any data stored on the web. We will share more information about this in the coming month, including information for players with existing longer Rune Metrics Pro subscriptions. If you do currently use Rune Metrics Pro, keep an eye on your emails for further information. Okay, combat update. So this is actually the thing that's most important to me and that I was most curious about. So in February, we're launching the Combat Modernization Update. This update focuses on making combat more intuitive, easier to learn, streamlined ability lists that are gradually introduced, melee, ranged, and magic. Okay, let's take a look. Let's look at the bullet points. This is what we want to see here. Removal or rework of unnecessary bloated abilities. Over time, additional abilities have been added to the original style's kits that in hindsight did not add additional gameplay or nuance to the style. As a result, these have been removed or reworked. Whoops. This I absolutely agree with. I definitely think there are a lot of things in the skill kits that I've seen so far that I feel like are maybe like duplicates or ultimately serve the same functionality as other skills. And so having them doesn't really do anything for me. Removal of thresholds. Thresholds are a dated concept from EOC, or Evolution of Combat, leading to situations where abilities often compete with one another due to their similar costs. Removing thresholds allows for nuanced abilities with variable costs, leading to more dynamic gameplay. I'm curious what they mean by variable costs. Are we going to start seeing... So is the plan then to make threshold abilities just adrenaline using abilities? And so, if it uses 15% adrenaline, do you just have to build up to 15% and then use it? I'm actually kind of a little worried about that, because if that's the case, it might be a little more difficult to use the Revo bar with some of those abilities. I don't really know. For sure, we'll end up having more non-adrenaline using skills. So more adrenaline building skills will be getting used in between the adrenaline using skills, if that's ultimately what ends up happening. So I don't really know exactly what they're going with there. But hopefully, something. Introduction of basic attacks. So basic attacks are a core to RuneScape's identity. Fundamentally, RuneScape has always had them through our original point-and-click gameplay. When we introduced an action bar-based system with the evolution of combat, auto attacks were moved to the background of combat. Utilizing learnings from necromancy, we're introducing basic attacks to the 3 core styles, though modernized for action bar-based gameplay. Okay. I don't really play Necro, so I guess I don't really understand what that means. I always thought that, like, the slash ability for melee, the little 3-second abilities, I thought those were basic attacks. So, I mean, are we getting something that's going to be on a 3-tick timer? Is that going to be outside of the global cooldown? Hey, what's up, Felix? I don't use necromancy because it feels a little bit like cheating to me, because it's outside of the Trinity with the weaknesses and the whatever the word is, the affinities. So I just don't use it. I will at some point. I just want to use the original 3 skills first. Maybe the different styles have a similar thing. I would really love if, even instead of just having adrenaline, if we had some other resources. That would make me really happy, Ian, for sure. Let's see. Redistributing ability unlocks by level. Abilities for melee, range, and magic will be redistributed to better introduce players to each style over time. With the reduction of abilities and introduction of a basic attack, each ability can be made meaningful and deliberate in where it is unlocked, serving as a way to progress the player's journey. Okay, so we are definitely losing some abilities. So this is kind of the opposite of what I would have wanted to see. I really wanted to have more abilities and have, more conditions and status effects and stuff like that. So I'm a little sad to see that we're removing some, but that's fine. Removal of lesser abilities. Lesser abilities have always served as a point of friction for new players. Given where they're positioned, they were often worse than using an auto attack, and were oftentimes worse than using slice, piercing, shot, or rack. Yet visually they appeared to be more interesting. With the introduction of basic attacks and the redistribution of level unlocks, lesser abilities are redundant and will be removed. When they say lesser abilities, do they mean basic abilities? Like all of the adrenaline gaining abilities? I don't know what a lesser ability is. We're getting new animations. That's cool. Normalizing ammo consumption. There's a large disparity between ammo consumption both for ranged and magic from the early game to the end game. In the early game, minimal ammo is consumed, leading to confusion of when it should be consumed. This is then flipped in the end game where many thousands are consumed per hour. This consumption will be normalized, resulting in a consistent experience across the board. Nice. Um, let's see. Tutorialization of abilities. Currently, there's no they're directly added to your action bar. This is easy to miss and does not offer guidance. By adding necromancy-style UI tutorials and preventing it from being auto-added, we aim to better explain these abilities and guide early game players. This is something I even still recognize and run into. Even though I'm fairly high level in most of my combat stats now, I still every now and then unlock an ability and then it throws it in my bar. And it is less than entertaining, if I'm being honest. So I'm definitely happy about this. I think that's going to be great. We're increasing everything to 120. I wonder if that means we're also going to be getting some new skills. Removal of specific auras. So this was a big one that they mentioned, and I think this is going to be really big. We understand that auras time box you into engaging in certain combat content in 1 hour increments. Alongside the skill cap increase for the core styles, we're removing Berserker, Reckless, Maniacal, and Majorat auras to prevent overall power creep while reducing the reliance on auras to complete content efficiently. This was another one that seemed really interesting to me. So the solid foods and the adrenaline cost, this is something y'all have been seeing me struggle with quite a bit recently, is once you get into a loop because you've taken too much damage where you're trying to eat while you're fighting a boss, you actually ultimately end up using a lot more food because you're unable to gain adrenaline, you're unable to use any of your damaging skills, any of your defensive skills. Just as soon as you get into that spot where you're eating a food and then immediately taking that much damage, you can't make any headway, and you're just using basic attacks on the boss and desperately trying to keep your health up. And it's really bad. So it looks like they're going to be reducing the adrenaline cost of the solid foods. And then instead of scaling the food's HP with your constitution, it's just going to have a flat healing level. So you're not going to have your constitution up in order to get all of the value out of your foods, which is going to be super big. And then it looks like they're just going to be getting some default action bar changes. So just some new automatically generated action bars that will be a little more in line with things today. Hey, what's up, Pikey? Yeah, ever since Dune Awakening came out. So right before Dune Awakening came out, they did an AMA on Reddit. And reading the Reddit AMA was actually my best live stream for Dune. And it's because, there's a lot to going in and reading an AMA and parsing all that information, and then trying to have a conversation about it. So being able to do that through a live stream where, you could just be listening and don't even have to go to the Reddit, don't have to do any of that, I think has some pretty good value. So it's something that I tend to do ever since then. Let's see, balancing, update, new beginnings. So yeah, like I was talking about earlier, it definitely looks like they're going to be looking to improve the early game and the new player experience in the beginning of the year. And then towards the end of the year, we're going to be getting, another late game boss, and some more end game style stuff. But it definitely seems like the first part of this year is going to be really early and mid game new player experience focused, which I think is a good path to go. I think with taking out Treasure Hunter and having the integrity stuff and all that stuff going on, you're going to be bringing in some new players. So if you don't really focus on some of that early game stuff, then you're going to bring all those players in just to lose them again. And that's going to be a little sad. Let's see. Game update, life after dailies. So it looks like a lot of what they're trying to do with the dailies, there's not a lot of extra information in here, but a lot of what they're trying to do is get rid of time-gated content and find new ways for you to interact with that content. So it doesn't seem like they're going to be necessarily completely throwing away some of these events and things, just trying to find a more consistent way for you to interact with them. The problem with not scaling food is some will become null and void as it's no longer used. That's definitely true. It's really going to be about what style of play you're doing, right? Because if it's not scaled based on constitution, there's no level requirement for eating food. So main players are going to end up kind of being in a point. Actually, this is going to be something to look out for. In the mains, higher tier foods are going to start being more expensive because everybody's going to be able to use them. So it might be a good opportunity to start stockpiling some of those, because level 1 players who are making new main accounts are going to be able to just go buy those really high tier foods. And there's nothing really that's going to stop them from eating them. Now, they don't say this, but it is entirely possible that... So they said that they were taking out the scaling, but they didn't say that there wouldn't be a level requirement based on the Constitution with a static healing value. And if I was the one doing this update, that's probably what I would do. Is I would, instead of having the Constitution level scale, I would just peg the Constitution level to the same fishing and cooking level. So, like, if I can fish it at level 63 and I can cook it at level 63, then I have to also be 63 Constitution to eat it. And then it just has a static value. And that way you keep all of that lower tier food relevant, without giving your players an opportunity to, like, quote unquote, waste their foods. Let's see, we've got an aura overhaul. So we already talked about we're losing the combat style specific auras. So we're losing Berserk and the ranged and Necro and Mage versions of those. Auras create a time pressure and a feeling of complexity with extra things you feel like you should consider in your setup before you start the task at hand. I totally agree with that. This spring, we intend to fully remove all auras. No more aura refreshes, no more limited peak efficiency, just a more enjoyable gameplay loop. Meanwhile, we will investigate if those benefits can be moved to part of the core game experience. So, yeah, I guess the birdhouses are a little bit of a daily, but they're like a daily skilling AFK thing. So I don't think they're actually going to end up being all that daily. But I'm not really sure, because they're going to have like the different phases. I think they're just longer. Like, you don't have to interact with them as often. So they're more of an AFK kind of a training method. They're making an update to the Grand Exchange, updating the prices more often, hopefully, and then changing item buy limits. So that'll be cool. I'd really like to see the Grand Exchange actually have some decent price updating. That'd be really nice. High levels don't use solid food. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip over that when you were trying to talk about it. I personally, so I'm not at a high level yet. I don't really understand. You know, I know you've got the brews. I know you've got all that other stuff. But I don't really know. You know, like, you still eat blue blubbers and stuff, right? Necro has an ability called Darkness. It lasts 12 minutes, kind of like an aspect that reduces damage you take. Think they will implement new abilities like that to replace auras? Oh, I would love that, Grizz. Absolutely. Or just generally moving, you know, like, you've got vampire auras and stuff like that. So having skills that naturally have a little bit of vampirism, or, you know, you've already got, I guess, the split. So I guess you don't need to do that. You've got prayers. But there's tons of stuff with prayers and, you know, additional skill effects and stuff that can be done. It would be great to see some more stuff to go in the skill books or the spell books that maybe replace some of those auras and gave you some more reason to use maybe some of the more obscure runes. So needing to, like, get more law runes or stuff like that would be cool. Majorat aura effect for 12 minutes as an ability. Yes, please. I think there are some things that they're just going to be taking out completely. I think that Majorat, the Berserk, and the ranged and the magic aura, they're just removing, is kind of what they were saying earlier, to prevent power creep. So I don't think we're getting any sort of replacement for those. They say they're doing a social update. I don't really... There's nothing really in here. Changing the way you broadcast for logs. Some clan-centric features. There's not a ton of data in here or information in here. Okay, you fill them, leave them, return X amount of time, letter to collect, refill. Yeah. Bearberry, yo, what's up? Yeah, the update's looking real good. Free rune metrics removing auras and the combat update are probably the three things that I care about the most. Oh, and this API plugin support. I can't believe. So for those of you, if you are a developer, they do have a Discord channel in the official RuneScape Discord where they're going to be, building a community of people who would maybe be building mods and plugins for the game. So that's something to go check out. I personally, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with plugins, so I don't know how I feel about this, but we'll see how it gets implemented. Potions and prayers are the other way we... Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, food's in a weird spot, so I hope that little bit of change that they're doing isn't all they're doing. Because it really is in a weird spot. So, who knows? Visual update, noise control cleanup, just cutting out some of the bullshit. That's cool. This is the roadmap here, without all the other stuff that was like up above it. Havenheith, I think they pretty much told us everything about Havenheith, and I don't want to get too deep into it because I want to go experience it and explore it. I mean, so I would disagree, Fairbury. I don't think that the OSRS plugins are good at all because they have things like the boss plugins that just tell you where to click all the time. And, there's just a bunch of stuff that's really, really intrusive and takes a lot of the, I guess the gameplay elements out of the game, in my opinion. I think plugins are great for things like One Chunk. Like, that's a really cool plugin. I don't like it, but the Quest Helper plugin I think is important because the game's been out for 25 years and there are people who have made, 50 accounts, and going through all the quests 50 times would suck. So I understand the Quest Helper is important in some situations, but it's going to really cheapen the quest experience for new players. And that's really too bad because there are some good storylines, some interesting puzzles, and some stuff like that that are really fun to do going through that first time. So that's where that love-hate relationship with plugins comes from, is sometimes you get something that's really transformative and lets you play a whole new game mode like One Chunk, and then sometimes you take away player agency and kind of harm the game. And it's really hard to weed that out and control that. So, yeah, I don't really know exactly how that'll go. Yeah, we got most of this information during the live stream and stuff. So, hey, what's up, Dean? I'm super excited about the little hedgehog dude. I'm serious. I am going to be the first person to get this pet. I'm going to go murder the Dreadhog as many times as I can and get this pet. Hey, Alex, thank you for the sub over on... Oh, And Pikey, I didn't realize, but thank you for the follow over on Twitch. I missed that a minute ago. Really appreciate it, y'all. Yeah, Dean, I'm up a little early right now because we had all the new information drop for the new patch and the roadmap ahead. So we're just taking a look. We watched the premiere video, we watched the live stream. Now we're going through the written blog just to see if there's any cool information we can glean here. And then I'll probably get off, maybe like take myself a nap, and then I'll get back on and do the regular stream later this evening. I'm also pretty excited about this dude. He looks pretty cool. So we got a couple of new bosses. I think they're going to follow very much the path of the Flesh Hatcher, right? They're here to help you learn how to flick prayers and maneuver about boss mechanics and stuff like that. So I hope we get some cool little mechanics. Maybe even some things that don't exist in the game yet would be nice. And some super creepy tree creature. This was a big one I wanted to look at. So we are getting an update to 110 Hunter, but the new big game hunter system, which is going to be giant game hunter, is actually going to invert the system. And so instead of you hunting creatures, creatures are apparently going to be hunting you, which is kind of interesting. They're also going to have some loot and stuff like that, which will be fun. And they're going to be giving us stuff to help us craft the new level 85 and 90 ranged armor, as well as apparently we're getting a new masterwork ranged armor, which is super exciting. The concept art for it here looks really nice, and I'm pretty excited about it. I haven't gotten to make or use any masterwork stuff, so I don't know if is there a masterwork ranged armor in the game at all right now? Or is this going to be a totally new thing for ranged? I haven't got to use any of the masterwork stuff, so we've got our little birdhouses here. So you'll just make a birdhouse, place it down, bait it, come back later, harvest it, rebait it, and then go about your day. So a very, very AFK way to level Hunter, which I will probably actually end up using this to do quite a bit of my Hunter leveling. Oh, okay, so there is no Masterwork range gear. Nice. Well, that'll be really exciting then, because it's weird to me that they don't. That they hadn't had it up to that point. So that's really exciting. Clockwork box traps. So this was a big focus of the day today, was talking about training methods that are more AFKable, or that give you a little more variety in how much focus you want to spend on trying to do your training. And so this is something that I've been talking about since I very, very first started playing the game. Is the game does a really good job of letting you pick how active you want to be with your training. and then giving you rewards in relation to that. And I really like that. So I'm really happy to see that a lot of the stuff that they're doing with taking out MTX is also going to be focusing on trying to put some more like breakpoints and types of skilling in there. So I think that's going to be really good. I don't know what the hell Black Chinchampa's enough said means, but all they would say about Black Chinchampa's all day today was that we're getting Black Chinchampas. I don't know what that means. I don't know what they're going to do. Nobody said anything else about it, but we're getting Black Chinchampas. And a new rabbit snaring type creature. This is another part of that. So we're getting a slower depleting tree, the red ivy. Again, this is just something that's going to give you less experience, but be more AFKable. So again, a big focus on giving you more control over how much you want to pay attention. And then it's going to expand throughout the year. This will eventually be the end game boss counter or boss encounter of this, which is the Grazi Blood Knights. Going to be a solo and duo boss encounter. And so I'm sure this will be really end game focused, and this is coming at the end of the year, which will be dope. Player avatars getting an update. They actually went really in depth in this in the live stream. Showed a lot of images of naked people on my screen during the live stream. So we probably won't really look at this. This isn't something that's important to me. I know that there are people out there who care a lot about this, but kind of a meh, in my opinion. I mean, happy for anybody who likes it, but and then this is another one that I think is pretty big. An update to 120 player housing. Some of the big stuff they talked about was giving you more ability to control what what's the word I'm looking for? What decorations you can put where. So right now you're extremely limited in your personal house, right? You go in there and there's like a curtain and you can make a very limited number of curtains. And then there's like a table and you can make a limited number of tables. And they're all in the same spot and they all look the same. And every house is basically identical. So what they talked about today, God, I got so much ache in my throat. Black. All right. So what they were talking about today is they want to make it so that you have more ability to control what goes where. And try and tie more of the stuff that happens out in the world into your housing. And give you a reason to bring stuff back to your house and make it a little more of a social thing. There's not a ton of information on exactly what that means, but they said they are going to be reaching out and they're going to want to hear from people who care about this system. So if housing and cosmetics and stuff like that are important to you, make sure you keep your eye out and give your input so that maybe you can have an effect on how some of that changes. And then there was just some little information. We're getting a new, I think it's going to be like dog based. It looked like, based on the video they were showing, that we're going to get like a dog based quest that's sort of a spiritual successor to the cat quest. So that'll be cool. Some more standalone quests, just some really basic information about some other stuff that's coming. And then RuneFest is coming in October. And then one of the things that was super important to me is going to be leagues. It doesn't really look like they gave a lot of information about what this league is going to be about. It's probably too early. They probably haven't really nailed down a lot of that. So we'll get a chance to see some of that in the future. But yeah, all in all, it was a super cool day of information and updates. The game looks like it's going to be moving in a really, really positive direction. With a much bigger focus on player value and player agency. I'm off to gymnastics training. Hope to see you later in the evening too. Yeah, later, Felix. Enjoy your gymnastics. I actually took gymnastics when I was a kid. It's been a long time. But yeah, so it looks like they're really trying to focus on giving the players the ability to have a little more control, have a little more agency, and get a little more value out of that $15 subscription. So that's really cool, really exciting. And I'm just really happy to get to play the game for the next year. I really thought that at the end of this, with the blog, we were actually going to get a little more information. I'm a little sad to see that they kind of gave all the information out during the live stream. So there wasn't really anything else for us to come and look at here. We got a couple of little morsels, but not very much. So I think we're going to go ahead and call the stream and, take a little break before we do our regular stream this evening. Yeah, so thank you everybody for coming and hanging out. Hope everybody is excited as me for the upcoming changes. And I will see you all a little later this evening for the regular stream.